If you were to bite off a kneecap, how would it look?
Woodward Sports, let's go.
Happy Friday, everybody. You're tuning into the Morning Wood on the Woodward Sports Network, featured on Roar 93.5 FM, 99.1 FM, and 94.7 HD2. I hope everyone is having a wonderful start to their Friday. I know I am. I came in early today to talk some Australian football with Fish. I learned a lot. They play in a circle. They kick. They swat the ball. They do all kinds of things. So thanks for teaching me something new today, Fish. But Jeff, Adam, good morning.
Good morning. How are you doing, Jeff?
I'm doing good. I'm ready to debate some football, talk about a good game last night. So,
out of everything you could have done this morning, Kennedy, just walk me through the process of watching Australian football with Fish.
It didn't make a ton of sense to me. I didn't realize that, unlike but American football.
No, it's real football. Don't worry, honey. You said it right. You said it right.
It's really intense. There's no pads. People are getting smacked around. It's quite scary, but there's like posts, and they have to kick it through. That's the only way you can score, I guess, is by kicking. Fish was, I don't know. I was lost the whole time, but it's a brutal sport. It seems it's a lot like, I think I told Fish that it reminded me of tetherball, because when the ball goes up, the guys just kind of swat it at each other. But I don't think Fish liked that comparison. But anyway,
it was a fine comparison.
Okay, thanks, Fish. There's no string attached though, so. But we have to talk about our football, the American football, against America's team, the Cowboys. The Bucs won last night. They just squeezed by with a 31-29 win. Jeff, what were your thoughts on the game last night?
Well, we got our prediction right, not the score, but the winner. We ultimately thought the Bucs would come out on top. I did not expect Dallas to make it that competitive. I mean, we knew they were explosive on offense, but what a great kickoff to the 2021 NFL season. I mean, Dak looked great, especially considering what he's been dealing with his shoulder and missing all last year due to his ankle injury. Throwing 50 attempted passes, man, trying to throw them to victory is impressive, and I give him credit. Ezekiel Elliott looked like a shell of himself. That's something I was worried about coming into the season. Not that I'm a Cowboys fan, but just simply because you root for him. And last year, with Andy Dalton and the defense focusing just on Ezekiel Elliott, he had a bad year. And coming into this year, you have Dak back. You expect Zeke kind of get some more room to run. You got a couple offensive tackles back, Lau Collins, Tyron Smith, and then you got Zach Martin's still out, but he'll be returning a couple weeks. But yeah, he looked bad, man. They were throwing that ball, airing it out. Kellen Moore knew exactly what he wanted to do. But Tom struggled a little bit in the first half, threw 2 interceptions, but bounced back with a typical Tom Brady clutch drive with I think 50 seconds left to kick a 36-yard field goal. Ryan Suckup winning the game for him. But many people felt at the end there's a little of that offensive pass interference on Chris Godwin when he got into field goal range. But it is what it is. I looked at the footage, I rewatched it. Part of me wants to say yes, there was some OPI, but at the same time, it's almost felt like the defender was falling before even the ball was coming his way. Like it was almost like in momentum. Basketball when
he had momentum.
Yes,
running towards the end zone.
Correct. So that, what, I wouldn't necessarily say it was OPI, but at the end of the day, the Dallas Cowboys made some bad mistakes throughout that game, but a couple spots. I think it didn't cost them, but kicking a field goal, 60-yard field goal before the half, like why? I mean, with a kicker who had a bad night, he missed one key field goal that ended up coming back to haunt them at the very end, losing by 3. But it is what it is. They completely abandoned the run early. The Cowboys put their faith in Dak coming off that injury, and it just didn't work out. Tampa Bay looked good. Antonio Brown looked like Pittsburgh Steelers. Antonio Brown burning the top off the defense and pretty much wide open every single time. But it is what it is. We got a Bucs team who very much could be back in that Super Bowl, stacked on both sides of the ball. The defense, obviously, as dominant as they were in the Super Bowl, it took them, the game one. It's going to take a couple games for this defense to get back on track. Obviously, they're not going to give up 30 points a game, but that Dallas offense is no joke, man. CeeDee Lamb, Amari Cooper. I mean, they got some guys on that squad. Michael Gallup didn't have necessarily a good game, but he'll be right back. I mean, they got three talented guys, and they lost, our hometown guy, Sean Murphy-Bunting. He left with an injury, so cornerback room was a little weak that game. But, credit to the Bucs. They found a way to win, towards the end of the game. And, you just can't make Dak throw you to victory like that every single game. It's tough on individually, and he needs help, man. You got to get this run game going. You got to figure it out, Kellen Moore. I mean, Mike McCarthy, you guys got to figure this out because it's going to make Dak better. It's going to make the whole team better. And, Greg Zerline last night, him missing those 2 field goals, man, it just makes me realize, maybe the Rams, they did a good job. I mean, the Cowboys picked him up so fast after he left the Rams, and it cost him last night. But what a way to start, the football season, Adam. It was a good Thursday night football game, and ultimately,
great game.
We got the Bucs.
It was a great game. We both had the Bucs winning. I had it much closer, so I'm very happy about that pick. I did take the Cowboys plus 9.5, so I'm really happy about that. But to get into the game, it was a slugfest in the air. But the Bucs gave Dallas every opportunity to win this football game. I don't care about an offensive pass interference call. When Tom Brady was handed the ball with 1:13 left and 0, it didn't matter. I believe 0. Was it 1 timeout? I'm pretty sure he had 1 timeout left. Regardless, when you give Tom Brady the ball and there's just over a minute left and all he's got to do is get in field goal range, consider the game over. So I think the Buccaneers showed just how good they are. They turned the ball over 4 times. 2 fumbles, 2 interceptions from Brady. Granted, one was a Hail Mary, but still. The fact that they were able to win that game just shows how legitimate the Buccaneers are. Mm-hmm. And it also shows how legitimate the passing offense for Dallas is. It could be probably the most dynamic receiving core and quarterback combination outside of Tampa and Kansas City. I don't see anybody being able to put up Dak numbers consistently. You want to talk about a guy that can potentially throw for 6,000 yards? It's Dak Prescott. CeeDee Lamb, Amari Cooper, Michael Gallup, 2 tight ends that he's actually comfortable with. Dak, I am so happy for Dak Prescott after last night. To show up after that injury and to throw for 400 yards, go down the field, put your team in a winning position with 1 minute left against the defending Super Bowl champions. And again, everybody knows how I feel about the Dallas Cowboys, but if you're a Dallas Cowboys fan, there is a lot to take away from last night's game. It's very promising. Yes, you lost, but you take away a lot of good things. And I could easily sit up here and completely trash Ezekiel Elliott if I wanted to. I have every right to, but I'm not going to, because Kellen Moore went into the game and said they have the best run defense in the NFL. Why am I going to sit there and beat a dead horse and just try to run against the league's best run defense? It doesn't make any sense. Dak, drop back and throw 58 times. I don't care.
Career high.
I want my matchups. They targeted Michael Gallup, I believe, 10 or 11 times. Michael Gallup, the 3rd string wide receiver, was in double-digit numbers for targets. Why? Consistent one-on-one matchups. You can't double CD. You can't double Amari. So, when you give safety help, well, that leaves Gallup by himself, and they trust their wide receivers more than they trust their running backs. Zeke had a poor performance. I thought overall Zeke kind of had, I don't want to say poor. It was average. It was an average performance. I thought he was really good pass blocking. He didn't look effective running the ball. He had 11 carries, only 33 yards?
Yeah.
It was subpar. It was very disappointing for a guy that, came into the league with so much promise. And
so explosive early.
Overpaid. He does look in much better shape now, so I won't call him overweight like I did last season. But he does look in much better shape. The Cowboys are going to need their run game, though, to really be effective. Again, I always talk about it, situational running. You need to be able to run the ball situationally. I don't need Zeke to get me 12, 14, 1,500 yards. Doesn't matter. Just when I need you to run the ball on 3rd and 2, 3rd and 1, I need you to convert. And that's kind of the biggest thing I took away. I'm not going to read too much into the Dallas loss. I think it was actually a great performance from them. They really let themselves down with their red zone opportunities, settling for all of those field goals. In the normal circumstances, the Bucs win that game, I think, by 8, 9 points, maybe even 10. Again, 4 turnovers, and Dallas still managed to only stay in the game and only lose by 2. You didn't take advantage of your red zone opportunities. It's that simple. Brady 4 for 4 in the red zone. It's that simple. They were 4 for 4. No, 3 for 3, or 3
Pretty much near
touchdowns,
perfect.
3 touchdowns, 1 field goal. But they had a 100% red zone, right, Kennedy? I don't know. You're looking at me like you're.
No, I wanted to ask a question about the refs last night. That's what kind of stood out to me. So there was a face mask that was overturned, which was interesting. I feel like we rarely see that. And then this new taunting call, right?
Yeah.
I feel like we're going to see it a lot now. And I don't know. I want to know how you guys feel about it. How do you feel about it, Jeff? I don't feel good about it. I think it's lame.
It is what it is. Last night, I thought it was funny the part that social media caught where the refs like, let's just, and they were like talking about something about
Yeah,
a call.
they
He's like,
mute
let's
the
just do
mic.
this, and then like he's like, oh, and he looked at the camera. He's like, I'm on. I was like, well, that's what you don't want to do as a ref. Like, you leave your mic on and talk about hidden ref things you don't want anyone else to know about. But I don't know. I don't think there's much the taunting stuff. They did pre-warn the players about that they're going to up that and be more strict on taunting in general. But I mean, it is what it is. I think the refs can't help, Tom Brady getting into field goal range at the very end. I mean, the OPI maybe, but it would have been a bad call.
We're being dramatic.
Yeah,
we're being dramatic on the call. And, if there's any team in the NFL right now that deserves
I was just going to say that.
an offensive pass interference call,
It's America's
not
team.
to get called, it is the Dallas Cowboys.
I
I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. Karma works in mysterious ways.
Mm-hmm.
Call it even. I don't want to hear about it. And I will say, Mike McCarthy didn't look like he snagged 13 Snickers pre-game. I'm proud of him. He looked really good. You know how many people tweeted and DM'd me about Mike McCarthy last night? It was the funniest thing ever.
I did.
Like you did. I had 3 mentions and 4 DMs of, hey, how fat do you think Mike McCarthy is? All right, maybe I took it a little too
Become
far.
your identity now.
But
It totally is.
people equate the Dallas Cowboys now with Snickers and Mike McCarthy being overweight.
Speaking of looking good, how about Gronk, dude? I saw this post last night. It was I don't know who's aging better, Gronk or Brady, because you can feel like Gronk's 34, I think, right now.
Gronk got time off though. And when
That
Gronk
year
came
helped
back,
him.
It really helped him because he had back issues, finger problems.
Yeah.
He was just always hurt. And when he played the tight end position the way Gronk does, let me give everybody a little backstory on Gronk. One of, if not the best blocking tight end in NFL history. We can start there. That alone is enough to get in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
And then you include the 100 touchdown passes that he's caught from Tom Brady. Oh, my goodness. He's the most, I believe they have the most connection touchdown passes in the postseason. I think it's 14. Gronk is basically what Travis Kelce is now when he was in his prime. Mm-hmm. Gronk was doing everything Travis Kelce was doing, maybe not consistently on the yard standpoint, but he was a guy, if you didn't give double coverage to late in games, he was going to burn you, and he did it yesterday. You couldn't double him. And that's the story of the Buccaneers. Antonio Brown, Chris Godwin, Mike Evans, had 2 catches last night? And the Bucs threw for over almost 300, 20 yards? Goodness. My goodness. Antonio Brown over 100, Gronk almost 100,
Yeah.
Godwin dominated. Even Scotty Miller, when he got into the game, he got a catch, but it was called back because of holding. The Buccaneers are so dynamic. We're going to go over our Super Bowl predictions a little later, but after last night, I really had to rethink who I was putting in my Super Bowl.
Yeah.
There you go.
All right. Well, we're going to talk about the Lions taking on the 49ers this Sunday at home when we come back. But before we go, can I hear about our friends at Northwestern Tech?
Yes, you could start a new career in an industry that is always essential, the heating and cooling industry. Learn more today by visiting northwesterntech.edu.
Tony is a third-generation logger that has a simple, practical approach to life and work. That's why his Coast DX342 knife is perfect for him. The stainless steel blade is rust-resistant and made for all-weather use. And the double roll-lock safety ensures that it will never inadvertently close when he doesn't want it to. That's why Coast is trusted tough.
Welcome back, everyone. You're tuning into the Morning Wood on the Woodward Sports Network. We're happy to have you here. It is finally Friday. We are 2 days away from Lions football. Real football, not preseason football, real football, and I am pumped. Couldn't be more excited. So, yeah, we're taking on the 49ers. Jeff, what are you expecting here?
Well, for me personally, when I'm watching Sunday at 1 o'clock Eastern, I'm going to be looking at, number one, the trench play, because we got a defensive line that's one of the best in the league. You got Nick Bosa, D. Ford, Eric Armstead, a bunch of guys and Javon Kinlaw, don't forget him. I mean, these guys are going to want to get after the quarterback. So it's a great test for our offensive line, something that we believe that can be a strength for this team. And what a way to test it, week one against the 49ers. And it's going to be a big wake-up call for Penei Sewell. Welcome to the league moment. Hopefully Taylor Decker can play Sunday to reassure that offensive line. But if not, man, it's going to be a real test. And I'm looking at both sides. You could say the same thing for the Lions defensive line. You got Trent Williams they're going up against. Pretty good, solid 49ers offensive line that knows how to run the ball. It's really trench play. And from that standpoint, there's other things I'm going to be looking for. Like, more importantly, Aaron Glenn. A test for him, because he's going to be facing a play caller like Kyle Shanahan, and his first time being a defensive coordinator. It's a big step up for him to call him plays against game one against probably arguably the most genius offensive mind in football. So it's a great test from the trench play to guys like Aaron Glenn, Anthony Lynn going against that defense, Dan Campbell, just making sure we have 11 guys in the field, like unlike last year or the year prior. So there's other things that you're looking for. It's the little things. Now, realistically, are you coming in here expecting the Lions to beat the 49ers? No. You're coming in, you're looking for other things. You're looking, how is Jeff Okudah going to do guarding Deebo Samuel or Brandon Ayuk? Like, how is this defensive line going to come after Jimmy G, make him feel uncomfortable? They're going to stop the run. Like, these are the small things that dictate. And the offensive line, for example, might look bad but it doesn't mean necessarily it's going to improve every single game. So you're not taking a whole lot from this game one, but it's a set the tone game for sure. So you want to see Jared Goff out there and how he looks, against this defense. And it's just individual play for me. I mean, it's not too much looking into the game itself. I think it's going to be a good game, a good test for Dan Campbell and them coming out game one. The first three games, actually. I mean, you got 49ers, you got Green Bay, you got the Ravens. Like these first three games are a slate of tests for this coaching staff and for this team. So come Sunday at home at Ford Field, I think it's going to be a good game. I don't know. I think we'll get into the score predictions later, but you're really just looking for the individuals, the rookies and the D tackles, the offensive line, Jared Goff, like just seeing how these guys perform individually. So that's what I'm taking away when I'm watching Sunday.
This Sunday, we're going to watch the first game of Dan Campbell and this new Detroit Lions team, this whole front office change. It'll be completely different. And what I advise everybody watching at home is kind of just look for the small things that really matter in a football game. Like yesterday, if you turned on the TV for the first 4 to 5 minutes of that Dallas-Tampa Bay game, you were like, my God, the punters are the MVPs of the game. Like, they were punting insane. And what you're going to want to do is whenever something good happens, like, jot it down. Be like, all right, that was nice. And how often are we doing nice things? You don't want to come out first series for Jared Goff in a Lions uniform and go 3-0. So let's, try to do that. That's small win number one. Small win number two. If we have to give San Francisco the ball back the first time we get the ball, let's pin them deep into their territory, make it difficult. Let's just play good football. That's what I think you got to really look forward to this weekend. Can the Lions and Dan Campbell put together a game plan that keeps them in this football game? Now, Vegas has San Francisco 7.5-point favorites. I've seen it up to 8.5 as of late. We'll give our score predictions a little later on in the show as well for this game. But look, you're looking for your offensive line to look good against San Francisco's defensive line. It's a great test. It's a good test, and it's a very difficult test for Penei Sewell. And we'll get to the whole Taylor Decker Penei Sewell situation later as well, but now you have to really look at your secondary. How is your secondary going to react in play action situations? San Francisco is going to want to dominate and run the ball. That's their MO. There's no game planning for it. They're going to be able to get yards on you. Aaron Glenn addressed it yesterday with Corey Woods and said, they're going to get theirs. We just have to limit them in what they get. So I'll agree with you that trench play is going to be key, but I want to see how the linebacking core does. Are they allowing running backs past them, where the safeties and the corners are having to make last-second tackles, open field tackles? I'm looking for little things. I'm not looking for much. I don't think the Lions really have a chance. The more I look into the game, the more I feel like this is really going to be San Francisco's game to lose. They really need to shoot themselves in the foot. We saw Tampa Bay commit 4 turnovers against a very good Dallas football team. I don't want to say very good, but we'll say like above average to good.
Yes.
They're a good football team, very dynamic on offense. You committed 4 turnovers against that defense, and their offense only punished you for 29 points. Oh, okay. So what happens if the Lions commit, let's say, 2-3 turnovers? That doesn't guarantee anything. If you force those turnovers on Jimmy Garoppolo, does that mean you're going to convert all the time? I'm not sure. I haven't seen this team in a red zone situation. Like, is Hawk going to get all the attention? Likely he will. Are you going to be able to run the ball the way you want to inside of the red zone? Is Tyrell Williams, Cephas enough of a one-on-one matchup where you're going to score touchdowns consistently enough throughout the season? I don't know. We'll see. And that's what I'm looking for throughout the weekend. That's going to be the biggest takeaway for me for the Lions is how well do they do the small things. It's the first game of the year. I expect mistakes. I expect bad football. I also expect some good things. So I expect a good mix. Whether or not they keep it close or they're even competitive, I don't think is important to judge as a Lions fan yet. Again, this is the first game under Dan Campbell, first game for the OC, first game for the DC, first game for everybody, first game for the quarterback, first game for Tyrell Williams. Hawkinson's connection with Goff is still its first game, really. So a lot of firsts. I'd be cautious how excited you are for the weekend. You should be excited to watch the team play. You should be excited to see where they're going in the future. If you want to say they're going to beat the 49ers, sure. You can put your head out there and go for it. And if they win, that's great. That'd be very impressive. And that'd be a very good start to the Dan Campbell era. But, I don't think anybody's looking for this team to win year one. So when you kind of take a step back and you say, okay, I want to see this team develop and get better, well, then you're kind of like eliminating the, oh man, we're going to beat the 49ers. We're going to show you. I don't think that's important. You're looking for the team to like have a game plan. You want to see them play well. And if they do that and they lose, that's good. If they do that and they win, that's even better. But keep in mind, it is a roster that is in a rebuild. So how often are you going to be able to overcome in the NFL other teams that are more talented at basically every position than you? It's very difficult. It's very difficult.
It's more of an evaluation period, definitely, especially, 1, 2, 3, all these games early on for the Detroit Lions. You want to evaluate these guys, especially the wide receiver core. I mean, outside of Tyrell Williams, their reception count is like 20 or 30 receptions for the entire group besides Tyrell Williams. So it's a little scary. I mean, I'm looking at Trinity Benson's going to get some snaps Sunday. So, guys like that, Tyrell Williams, I want to see how he does as the wideout number 1. You got Quintez Cephas, Amon-Ra St. Brown, like a lot of unproven guys. Not that they're not talented, just guys we don't really know much about. Want to see those guys in action on the field and find out more about that wide receiver core, kind of see who Jarrett's favoriting besides T.J. Hawkinson. We know he's going to get action Sunday, but kind of want to see who he's favoriting amongst these wide receivers. I think that's important too, looking at this offense. And like Adam said, and reiterating it, it's just the little things. Like it honestly is. That was the point. Like you don't want to necessarily look at, and you're not a Bucs or a Green Bay where you're watching the game for what it is. Like this team is in the beginning stages of a rebuild. It's an evaluation period. We don't know what we have out of Derek Barnes completely yet. We don't know what we have out of Amon-Ra St. Brown completely yet. Like these guys have to go through the season, improve, Penei Sewell included, every day, every week during the season, improve every single game. And that's really the goal. And it starts game 1 this Sunday against 49ers. It's going to be a test. It's a great first test for this team.
It's going to be a test all season. They have the 4th hardest schedule based on win totals from last season. They have the 6th hardest schedule overall. If you really believe that they're gonna win a few games this year, they are gonna win games. They're gonna win games maybe you don't expect, and they're gonna lose games that you don't expect them to lose. Maybe they lose to a Denver, maybe they lose to a Philly, but then they're gonna go ahead and they beat San Francisco. They'll beat Pittsburgh. Like you don't know. This happens. Anything's possible in the NFL, but over a 17-game schedule, my roster talent is here. The average roster talent is about here, and then the really good teams are about here. And I'm supposed to overcome all of that given I have a top 5 difficult schedule, that seems a bit unrealistic. In year 1. Again, we'll see what happens. I'm excited for the Detroit Lions this upcoming season. I'd like to see how they improve. I'd like to see if Dan Campbell can actually even coach. I mean, you're gonna look for the little things he's doing, along with your offense and your defense. Everybody individually. You're evaluating individually. If you want to evaluate this team based on their record at the end of the year, you're gonna hate Dan Campbell. You're probably gonna hate Brad Holmes. You're gonna hate everybody on this team. The odds of them actually finishing with a winning record or a respectable record is going to be difficult. They've got a lot to overcome. So I would look for the small things. Look for Dan Campbell to show he's capable of not only leading men in the locker room, but actually translating it onto the field. Look for Anthony Lynn and Aaron Glenn to really develop game plans that stifle and really throw off their opponents. That's what you want to watch this year. But, just for Sunday, I think the 49ers are the clear favorites. There's a reason they're a touchdown favorite away from home. I think it's going to be difficult inside of a dome. No weather conditions. They're going to be able to run the ball essentially at will. It's going to be an interesting game. San Francisco plays kind of how you expect Detroit to play this year, like control the run game, control the trenches, and control the clock. And when you kind of go up against somebody that can do what you do, but probably at an elite level, and you can't yet, it spells trouble. We'll give our final score predictions later, but that'll be it for now. That'll be it.
All right. Well, Adam just kind of told you he's going with the Niners this weekend. So, Adam, where can people go and bet?
You can go bet on mybookie.com. You can bet anywhere, anytime. My favorite place to bet, guys. It's football season. I don't know how many more times I have to sit up here and say it. I told you last night to take the Cowboys 9.5. It was too many points. You had to have taken it. And that was a nice payout. All right, cool. What's next, Adam? All right, well, later on in the show, we're going to be giving away 3 bets. Jeff and I, our 3 locks of the weekend. So make sure when you do tune in later on in the show, for those bets, you use MyBookie. Use code Woodward. Sign up today. Get a 50% match bonus on your first deposit. Guys, you put in $100, they'll give you $50, $200, they'll give you $100. You know the drill. We'll see you right after the break. Oh, actually, before we go to the break, I have to say one more thing before I forget. Take advantage of the futures on MyBookie. I have to mention it. You have to take advantage. Like, some of the lines are really good. The Lions over 5, under 5, whatever direction you want to go in, it's a good bet either way. And it's basically even money. You can't go wrong with it. And again, if you do have a gambling problem, call the National Problem Gambling Hotline at 1-800-522-4700.
Welcome to the Call Sam Chopper Shop, where you can win a custom-built chopper while helping our veterans at the same time.
Watch as the Bad Pig Custom team turns this bike into a one-of-a-kind classic chopper.
And when it's finished, we'll be donating the bike to Volunteers of America Michigan to raffle off in support of our vets.
A great cause to give back to those who've given so much.
Watch for Call Sam Chopper Shop episodes on our social media channels and get your raffle ticket today at callsam.com/chopper shop.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Morning Woodward Show on the Woodward Sports Network. Happy to have you here. It is Friday. You have made it to the weekend. We are pumped. Lots of football this weekend. That being said, the guys, if you had to guess, what will the final standings look like in the NFC North come the end of the regular season? Jeff, what do you think?
So earlier in the year, I had the Lions at 3rd. I can't even lie. And it's not like much has really changed. It's just more uncertainty from the wide receiver core and me acknowledging simply, I went through the schedule last night and a lot of these team schedules, and I just kind of tried to create a win total. And this is what I got. I got, Green Bay at number 1. They're going to be top of the NFC North, I believe, this year. I think Minnesota will be slightly behind them. I think, Green Bay can get, 12 wins. Minnesota can get 10 to 11 wins. I think they'll be up there as well. Chicago is going to be, I think they can be 3rd, or they will be 3rd, but it'll be closer than people think. I think they'll have 8, maybe 9 wins. I could see 7 even. Just somewhere in that category. I think Andy Dalton plays, a majority of the season. Justin Fields, you might see him at the very end. Maybe they pick up a couple wins, but... And then I got the Detroit Lions right below them. I got them at 4th. And it's not me being negative. It's just simply evaluating each of these rosters. Like, I'm a Detroit Lions fan, but you can't sit up here and say they're right now better than the Chicago Bears because, the Bears defense is still intact for the most part. I mean, Andy Dalton is Andy Dalton. I'll take Jared Goff over him. But at the same time, they're just a better team. They have better wide receivers. They're in a position to try and win right now. And I think that's where the Lions, we have the youngest team in the NFL. I think there's time to waste. I think give them a season or two, and they'll even be climbing up the NFC North rankings. But right now, that's how I have it. Green Bay, Minnesota, Chicago, and Detroit Lions.
Okay, I've got it Green Bay, Minnesota. And I really thought hard about this. Because if Andy Dalton is going to start more than 10 games, the Bears are going to finish dead last in this division. The only hope for the Lions not to finish last is that the Bears stick with Andy Dalton for a majority of the season. The Lions have finished 4th in the division for the last 3 seasons. As much as it pains me to say, I do expect them to finish 4th for a 4th consecutive year. And then they probably try and boot it around next year and finish 2nd or 3rd. But regardless, Green Bay, I have them winning 11 games. I have Green Bay at 11-6. I have Minnesota at 9-8. Originally, I had Chicago at 8-9, 9-8, somewhere in that ballpark, given that Justin Fields would come in and really turn the team around. But the more I look at Chicago, the more I just see losses everywhere, especially early on. They've got a difficult schedule.
They did be a good team last year.
The whole NFC North has a difficult schedule.
Yeah.
Bears came out hot last year. I believe they started 4-1.
Beating up on
They
bad.
beat Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
True. They did beat.
And then they kind of went downhill. I expect them to start on the down and then probably pick it up late into the year with Justin Fields. So I'm gonna change my original win prediction for the Bears. I have them winning only 6 games. I have them going 6-11, max 7-10. I think it's going to be very difficult for them to start the season with Andy Dalton and win any football games. And then, of course, the Detroit Lions and last. I'll give away my regular season predictions, like their win total. You can obviously get an idea of whether or not it'll be over or under 5 wins. But I have the Lions finishing 4th. It's going to be tough for them to finish 3rd. The way they're going to finish 3rd is if Chicago is just as bad, if not worse. And that's just the reality. Both teams have a bridge quarterback. The only difference is one has their future franchise quarterback sitting, waiting for the baton to be passed. The other team is still waiting to go get their future quarterback. So whether or not you like Jared Goff, he's a good quarterback. I do like him. He has nice piece. He has nice things about him. It's nothing that I'm committing $35 million to at all. So he is a bridge quarterback based on given his situation. That's simple. Yeah.
What do you think Justin Fields...
Packers, Vikings, Bears, and then the Lions.
What do you think Justin Fields realistically sees the field? Like, you think...
When?
Probably like halfway through the season or maybe towards back half of it.
I want to say earlier than we expect. I think the Bears walk away like 2-3, 2-2 or 2-3 to start the year, and then they're just like, our defense is actually playing good. Our receivers are open. Let's just put the kid in. We can probably win way more football games.
Right.
If they can get Justin Fields out, if they can get him out starting before 8 games into the season, this is a 9-win football team, I believe, with Justin Fields at quarterback. I think they're an aging defensive unit, but offensively they're dynamic. Matt Nagy is creative. I think they can sneak away and win football games, especially in the division. They'll probably split with Minnesota. They'll probably split with Detroit, and they could split with Green Bay. That's 3 wins. And then you look at, it's difficult, but I think this is an 8-9-win football team with Justin Fields starting a majority of the season. If not, it's going to be an ugly year for the Chicago Bears.
Yeah, if you're putting your faith in Andy Dalton to win those football games, you're counting yourself out. I think Justin Fields, like you said, I think will come in middle of the season around that time, and as he gets in, they'll see some success because he's so dynamic. I mean, he could do so much more than Andy Dalton in terms of his athletic ability. So I think that's going to be a big part of the Lions season.
If Mitchell Trubisky
can go 5-0,
could not only do that, could have a very good winning record with Matt Nagy in Chicago.
Oh yeah,
and you bring in a Nick Foles, and it all goes downhill after that. And then you bring in somebody who's probably worse than the both of them, and that's Andy Dalton. You're not going to win many football games. It's kind of common sense. I think with Justin Fields, he needs time. You probably give him week 7, week 8, whenever their bye week is. Ideally, you start him the week after. But we'll have to wait and see. I still think Chicago will finish with more wins than Detroit, although I think it'll be closer than I may have imagined to start before the season even started, or preseason, I should say. I really think it'll be closer. It'll be really close, 3-4. I think the Packers aren't going to finish 10-7. I've seen that a lot. I don't see them losing 7 games.
No,
it's very difficult
tough
to imagine a team that's gone 13-3 to finish 10-7 with an additional game. 11-6 is realistic. Just like I think if it was a 16-game schedule, they probably would have finished 11-5. They would have taken a step back, but maybe that's good for them to take a step forward in the playoffs. Maybe they don't need a bye week. Maybe they need to be a wild card team and fighting their way through with a home game in the wild card round. So we'll have to wait and see. I'm excited to see what comes of it. I still think the Lions are going to finish in last place. It's going to be really difficult for me to see them finishing third, let alone second. I mean, second has to be out of the picture unless the whole NFC North just collapses. But, Minnesota's talented. They're healthy now. Kirk Cousins, stable, good quarterback. I could give Kirk Cousins the same compliments I can give Jared Goff. They're very similar. Game managers can make throws downfield, but they're not dynamic enough where they're going to change your franchise. So, tough for me to say, man.
Can we say this too, real quick? The fact that we both mutually agree that the Lions will finish ultimately at the bottom of the NFC North division doesn't necessarily mean we're haters. We're not hating on the team. It's just looking at the talent level of the Chicago Bears. They are in the win now mode. They have a veteran defense who has Khalil Mack, Eddie Jackson, young corners, and a defensive line who's pretty atrocious. So it's like, you're looking at that from that standpoint. They're built to win more games right now. Maybe next year we can have a different conversation. Maybe the Detroit Lions are in a better position, or even the year after that. But it is what it is. I had the Lions at third. I just don't feel as confident now, especially going into the season. This team doesn't have any chemistry in a regular season game. And I'm going to sit here and say they're third. It's tough. So we'll see. Obviously they're improving. They could prove a lot of us wrong, but before the season, that's our rankings.
Okay, so Charles is kind of close to what I was thinking, but just he's really off on the Lions. He's got Packers 11-6, Vikings 9-8. I agree, Charles. Lions 8-9 is it's really hard to convince me that's even a possibility, given how difficult their schedule is. They're playing Pittsburgh, Cleveland, Seattle, Baltimore, Green Bay twice, Minnesota twice. Whether you like Minnesota or not, they're a good football team. So even if you split, that's just one win.
Right.
There's no guarantee you beat the Falcons. I think the Falcons are probably heavy sleepers in the NFC just to make a push for the wild card spot. I think Arthur Smith is going to do a very good job with Matt Ryan in that offense. You have Calvin Ridley, Russell Gage, Kyle Pitts, a decent offensive line. Their defense hopefully gets a little better, but I think the Atlanta's good. There's no guarantee you beat Atlanta. There's no guarantee you beat Denver later on in the year. So 8-9 is so difficult. I don't think it's good for the team's future. You want a high draft pick. You do. You just do. You have 4 first-round picks in the next 2 years. This season, I'm not judging Dan Campbell unless he just goes out there and coaches.
Lays an egg.
Just completely puts up duds from a coaching perspective. But no, Dan Campbell can go 2-15, and I'll sit up here and say, all right, good. Let's get better next season. And then by year 3, I want to be competing for the division because I think that's all you need in the NFL, especially when you have a head start and you have 4 first-round picks in the next 2 years. That is 4 starters you get to add to your football team. I don't want to hear it. So I think the Lions, I don't think the Lions are an 8-win team. 8 is so difficult for me to imagine. I took the under before. I am going to change my my overall. I gave them 4-13, the original prediction. I'm going to change it, but we'll give that later once we get back. So,
I kind of want to know, Fish, what's your order for the NFC North? How do you think it's going to end up, buddy?
Well, thanks for asking. Lions easily number 1. We'll go Packers 2, Bears 3, and Lions 4.
All right.
Or Vikings 4.
Oh, okay.
Vikings
Fish.
4.
Yes.
Fish is switching it up on us.
Lions 1,
Uh-huh.
easy. Packers 2, Bears 3, Vikings 4.
Fish,
give me one reason I shouldn't come to that booth and just maul you.
I give Fish
Because you're going to be wowed on
Fish.
Sunday.
Fish, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt, but putting Dalvin Cook, Justin Jefferson, Adam Thielen at the bottom of the NFC North. What happened, Fish? Why is Jared Goff and Tyrell Williams at the top? What happened?
Ask the coach. We'll buy kneecaps.
Okay, you know what?
Don't ask Fish. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it.
Okay.
Garoppolo's not going to know what hit him.
Just
He's going to say,
get
who
away
hit
from me.
Did a lineman hit me?
Stay away
Was it a
from me
lineman,
this entire show.
Garoppolo, with a kneecap that hit you
Fish,
right in the mouth?
If they finish number 1 of the NFC North, the amount of bragging rights you're going to have to this man and me over here.
Sewell hasn't played a game. This fan base is pitiful. Let them play a game.
Do people not understand?
Penei Sewell played 3 preseason games and looked like complete garbage.
Yeah.
The number 1.
It's preseason, and no one cares.
Yeah, against 2s and 3s, he looked like garbage.
It's preseason.
Preseason, he looked like garbage. I have 3 games to look at Penei Sewell. He looked like garbage.
Okay, preseason.
No,
I don't care about preseason.
do I expect him to get better? Absolutely. I hope so.
He
spent
will.
the number
He'll
7
get
pick
better.
on him.
Yeah.
So shut up. Shut up.
They're going to wow you on Sunday,
Shut
Adam.
up.
Just
You
know
guys
that.
you guys cry too much.
All
Wow.
right. Well, Adam wants to shank fish now, but we can tell you where to get the best knives with our friends at Coast.
All right. Let me tell you about our Coast knives because they're very
Sharp.
very sharp. All right. Since 1919, Coast has pursued one mission: to make the working professional's job safer and life easier. Today, Coast lights are our favorites among tradesmen and women, outdoor enthusiasts, first responders, and more. Visit coastportland.com and use code WSN20 for 20% off your purchase. They stand by their products and back them up with a lifetime warranty. Buying for your whole crew? Sign up with our Coast crew to take advantage of special discounts, early access to new products, and more. Again, that 20% off code is WSN20.
Hi, I'm David Hall from Hall Financial. And at Hall Financial, we treat our clients like family. And our number 1 priority is giving each of our clients 5-star service. Our passion for 5-star service, combined with our expertise, allows us to find the best possible solution for refinancing your home loan. We take the time to focus on both the individual and the numbers. We're going to walk you through the process and close your loan in half the time of our competition. Go to davidhallmortgage.com today.
Welcome back, everybody. You're tuning into the Morning Wood. Happy to have you here on a beautiful Friday. Woohoo! All right, so they've explained who they think is going to take the NFC North. But now we're going to take it a step further and name the NFC and AFC champs. And then from there, who's going to win the Super Bowl this year? Obviously, we don't actually know for sure. This is a total shot in the dark. But here we go. Jeff, what do you got?
Listen, this is my Super Bowl prediction. I think Tampa Bay is coming out again. I just don't see it. Like you got the Saints, who has Jameis Winston now. You got other teams that will be contending in there, but Tampa Bay is the clear-cut, stacked roster on offense and defense. They got the GOAT behind center, and I understand that winning back-to-back Super Bowls is unlikely, but that's the twist. They're not going to win. I got the Bills winning the Super Bowl because I think they'll beat out Kansas City this year. I think this is the year for Josh Allen. He had a breakout year last season. A lot of people said he should have won MVP. Coming into this year, probably even more motivated. And they made some moves in the draft, made their team better, signed some guys in free agency, and now they're looking to attack Kansas City. I know Kansas City improved their offensive line and whatnot, but it's going to be between those two teams, and I got the Buffalo Bills coming out. I think they'll beat Tampa Bay. I don't know the score, but I got Josh Allen winning Super Bowl MVP, and we'll call it a night for that. That's my Super Bowl matchup.
So you got the Bills beating the Bucs in the Super Bowl.
Yes.
Not bad, Jeff. Well, we agree on the Super Bowl winner and
Okay.
the team that comes out of the AFC. I think the Bills are coming out of the AFC. I had the 49ers getting to the Super Bowl.
Oh, wow.
Originally. And Tom Brady gave me some humble pie last night. It's very difficult for me to envision any team beating Tom Brady, home or away, this season, especially come playoff time. Like, that wide receiving unit is basically unguardable, especially if Gronk is going to play that well. They returned all 22 starters. It's so hard for me to envision the Bucs losing to any team in the NFC. They are so good. They committed 4 turnovers last night, and they still won the game. And they were still in it the entire time, even though they committed 4 turnovers.
Mm-hmm.
Are you kidding me?
It's
what
crazy.
team can overcome that in the NFL outside of maybe Kansas City? Who?
It's just championship level
Green Bay
teams.
can't. Green Bay can't. I don't know. I really think I like I like the Bills. I feel like an NFC West team is coming out. I don't know if it's either Seattle or the Niners, but after last night, I'd be a fool not to say Bills Bucs. And I think Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills get their first Super Bowl ever. And they get over their demons of losing 4 straight Super Bowls. So, yeah, I've got the Bills Bucs. I wanted to say Bills Niners, but gosh, Tom Brady and the Buccaneers just look too good. The defensive, the run game for, not the run game, but the defensive play of the Bucs, like their ability to stop the run is a problem. Not every team has a Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb, Amari Cooper.
Right.
Where they can go toe-to-toe with you. And even then, they couldn't convert in the red zone. So, man, I'm telling you, like, I was really comfortable picking the Niners to really make a run this year. But after last night, how do you not pick the Bucs? Like, I really don't want to pick them. But I just can't.
Because who else? You got the Rams, which, I mean, they got a great defense. I mean, I believe in Matthew Stafford to an extent. I think the Bucs will ultimately beat them. You got Saints. They have Jameis Winston now.
Saints aren't getting out.
They're not getting out.
Green Bay, I don't believe in Aaron Rodgers.
Chicago Bears, no. And you got Seattle, which, like you said, maybe.
They can, do they piece it together on defense? That's really the key. Are they going to be able to support Russell Wilson? The Niners, I think, have all the pieces to make a Super Bowl run. It just depends on quarterback play. With all these other teams, I know what I'm getting out of my quarterbacks. I just don't know what I'm getting from my team. So that's why I really like the Niners to make a run in the NFC. Do I think the Rams can make a run and probably push for an NFC championship game? I think they can.
Yeah.
They're just too talented. They upgraded at quarterback. Whether you think it's slightly or not, that's on you. But yeah, Bills and Bucs. I've got Bills and Bucs. I tried so hard. And I was so confident going into last night's game that the Buccaneers weren't going to make the Super Bowl. And then, of course, Tom Brady. And that team overcame so many obstacles that normal teams in the NFL aren't capable of overcoming. The Lions, if I tell you the Lions are committing 4 turnovers on Sunday, you tell me, oh my God, Adam, we're going to lose 42-7. We're going to get murdered. I believe maybe them in Kansas City and maybe Buffalo are equipped to overcome 4 turnovers. And, geez, the Bucs aren't going anywhere. It's kind of scary. It's kind of scary. If you're getting Antonio Brown, prime Antonio Brown, to play as your 3rd wide receiver, that's
and he looks
broken.
like that.
That's like what do they call it in Madden? Those like future teams or whatever they call it, like ultimate team.
Oh, ultimate team. Yeah.
They have an ultimate team roster. You got Leonard Fournette at running back. Whether you like him or not, he's a good running back. A good offensive line. They have the best right tackle, I believe, in the NFL. They have the best quarterback. They have the GOAT. They have Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Antonio Brown. Oh, did I forget to mention Rob Gronkowski? You got to put him in one-on-one matchups throughout the game. They can get any matchup they want. It's just unfair. How do you prepare for that? There's no defense in the league equipped to handle those 4 guys. So I got to say, the Bucs just looked damn good yesterday. There's nothing I think any NFC team can do about it. If you're going to try to shoot it out with them, good luck. If you want to play defense and play a sluggish game, they've shown they can do that. Whew. Wow. Buccaneers impressed me last night.
Let me real quickly ask you about some AFC teams like that are pretty good. And I want to maybe we can just burn some time here and talk about why they're not going to make the Super Bowl. Like Cleveland Browns, someone who last year made it farther than everybody expected. Okay. I heard a couple of that in the comments. Like, why not the Browns?
Browns aren't making the Super Bowl because of Baker Mayfield.
And I was
Go ahead. Give me the rundown. I got you. I have all the answers for you guys. Baker Mayfield. We'll start there. Baker Mayfield, next. What do we got?
He had a great year last year, but yeah, I think that's what's ultimately holding them back. Stacked team. And then you got other teams. Obviously, the Ravens are suffering multitude of injuries and all that, but the Titans could be back. Make it far. I don't know about the Super Bowl, but I think the AFC side has more convincing. I mean, the NFC side, you're pretty much like, yeah, the Bucs. I mean, they're getting it. Maybe the Green Bay can do something, but
okay, we both agree on the Bills.
Yes.
Okay. Kansas City. I just think to make it a 3rd straight year is going to be very difficult. I think their division has gotten slightly better. It won't be as much of a cakewalk as it was last year for them. Denver got slightly better. Los Angeles got slightly better. I think the Chargers are going to be a good, maybe dark horse team this year. And the Raiders are just a pain to play. Whether you like Derek Carr or not, they're just a pain to play. They can put up points. So I don't think the Browns are Super Bowl contenders. I think they probably win their division given what's happening in Baltimore. Steelers, no. Ben Roethlisberger, they're not making the Super Bowl. He's had plenty of opportunities. Guy reminds me of Aaron Rodgers. He gets to the championship game and just chokes it away. Congratulations. That's your quarterback. You're not getting far with him. You're just not. He's aging. He's done. He's no Tom Brady. Okay, cool. What's the next team? Who do we got? Indianapolis? Carson Wentz, first year under Frank Reich. Could they make problems? Could they upset Kansas City, let's say, in a divisional round? Sure. But I don't expect them to beat the Bills. And they lost to the Bills last year in the divisional round, if I'm correct. So
yep.
I don't see anybody getting past. I think, destiny has a weird effect in football. And it just, go back to the Ravens run when they won the Super Bowl with Joe Flacco and Ray Lewis's last season. And it just didn't make sense how they were able to win those games. They played out of their minds. It was like destiny was on their side. And I just have that feeling about Buffalo. I think Buffalo are the clear favorites out of the AFC. I think out of the NFC, I could make the argument for, 3 teams in the NFC West. I'm not making an argument for Green Bay. I'm not considering them. I just think Aaron Rodgers isn't that guy to take this team to the next level. If he was, they wouldn't have lost the last 2 NFC championship games. So it's that simple.
All right, well, coming up next, we got to talk about Taylor Decker and if he's going to play Sunday, what that would look like. But before we go, Jeff needs to tell Adam and I about our favorite Greek pizza on the planet.
All right, listen. I'm sleeping on this Greek pizza. All right, I really am. Papa Romano's, go with it. Go with Greek pizza with Papa Romano's. For a limited time only, Papa Romano's is introducing their new Greek pizza. It's a classic blend of bold Greek flavors and tasty Mediterranean toppings with tomatoes, olives, onions, feta cheese, and more. Get a large Greek pizza for only $16.99. Opa!
Okay, you thirsty little spin goblins. I want you to pedal into the next dimension. Spin it! Spin! Spin! Uh-oh! Carmen's falling behind. Let's give her the hiss of shame. Spin! Spin! Spin till you bleed!
Don't ride the bike of shame. Come to Planet Fitness and find your own lane with tons of equipment, free fitness training, and no hissing. Join today for just $10 a month.
Welcome back, everybody. You're tuning in to the Morning Wood. Happy to have you here. It's Friday. The weekend is near. We got this. All right. But will the Lions have Taylor Decker? That is the question. So do you guys think Lions fans should be worried about Taylor Decker possibly missing this Sunday? And should Penei Sewell start at left tackle? What do you think, Jeff?
Well, the only people that should be necessarily worried is Jared Goff, obviously, because his defensive line is scary. But the other people that should be worried is probably the ones that think like Fish. This team will win about 9, 10 games, 11 games, because if you don't got your left tackle, who last year had a great year, bounce back year, if that. So that's tough. And the question, I hate this question. Should you move Penei Sewell to left tackle? Absolutely not. You should not do that. Why train throughout this whole training camp and preseason? The kid hasn't played in over a year, and you're going to throw him at left tackle, back at his natural position, after he just spent all this time learning the technique and learning the position of right tackle, which he's going to play this regular season. What happens? What are you going to do? Put him at left tackle, Taylor Decker comes back, you move him back to right tackle? Like, that is, number one, it's embarrassing as a franchise that we're going to put our 7th overall pick through that. Just let the kid play either A, his position, or B, the position we're showing him. But, yeah, it's a worry, obviously, for the run game for Jared Goff. But I didn't think it was I think he'll be back within a game if he's out. I don't think it's a big injury. But, yeah, anytime you lose a guy like Taylor Decker, I mean, this offensive line needs to build chemistry, especially early in the season. I talked about their first 3 games they have in the season. It's a tough first 3 games. And what if first 3 games for both of the offensive and defensive line to just build chemistry? Just play. You got your toughest games. After that, you got opponents that you can beat. So it should get better throughout the season. But yes, to answer the question, some people should be worried about Taylor Decker. I think any Lions fan, yes, it stinks. The guy you just paid is out with injury, but he'll be back. And if anything, it's not like he's the make or break of this team. This team is going to win 10, 11 games. He's out, so we're not going to win 10 games. No, it is what it is. It sucks for the offensive line and their chemistry building, but other than that, man, it just makes Sunday a little more difficult to handle this defensive line.
There are quarterbacks in the league in the past where I had a genuine concern for their health. Joe Burrow last year, the Bengals' inability to protect him. Quarterbacks we've seen, even a Matthew Stafford at times, one of the most sacked quarterbacks during his time here in Detroit. You got to be able to protect your quarterback, and if Taylor Decker is out, should you start Penei Sewell at left tackle? Absolutely not. He is going to be 90 to 95%. Likely he will start more than 15 games at right tackle this year. 90 to 95% sure. So why start him out on left and then move him back to the right? And honestly, why would you put him on the left? You really want to deal with Nick Bosa your first game? Protect the kid a little bit. Don't throw him out there. Like, if Taylor Decker misses his game, that not only makes it more difficult for the Lions to win, but it all but seals Jared Goff's fate, which he'll probably turn into food for that defensive line and the linebackers of the 49ers. It's bad. It's bad news. He missed practice. It is a finger issue, but you can say he'll play through it, but how do you block? You use your hands. And what's on your hands, Jeff? Your fingers. Look, I don't know what kind of medicine or, I don't know what kind of painkillers they're going to give him to play through this game, but you're going to have Nick Bosa swinging at your hands and your fingers for 60 minutes. So I don't know if he's going to play. He probably does. He's a captain. He's going to fight through it. But no, even if he doesn't play, you're not going to put him at left. You're not going to put him at left and match him up with Nick Bosa for 50, 60 snaps. That seems pretty suicidal to me. You gotta stick Sewell on the right. He needs the reps. You need to accept that he needs the reps. Mm-hmm. He didn't look good in preseason, so Lord knows you don't want to move him to left, and then he's going against one of the best edge rushers in the NFL. You can't do that. You can't do that to a rookie lineman. You'll ruin his confidence. Keep him on the right. Let him develop. It's going to be a tough first 5, 6, 7 games for him, and ideally halfway into the year, probably by Thanksgiving and towards the end of the season, you're seeing like really good progression from Penei Sewell on the right side. Now, do I think it's out of the imagination or too far fetched to say trade Taylor Decker at the end of the year? No, it's a team friendly contract he does have, to be fair. It's a good offensive line. It's considered a top 10 in the NFL. So you don't want to move off of that. But if Penei Sewell is struggling, you have a tough decision to make at the end of the year. Am I ruining this kid's future and potential because I'm playing him at right tackle? Or do I believe if I move him to left and get rid of Decker or move Decker to the right, that not only am I making my football team better, I'm preserving the career of this young man. And we didn't just blow another number 7 overall pick away. That is the key here. So we'll see. I think they shouldn't start him at left, though, either way. You make that decision at the end of the year. You got to give him a full year at right tackle. If he shows glimpses and signs of improvement, you keep him at right tackle going forward until Taylor Decker shows you that he isn't a capable left tackle. But no, he needs the reps at right tackle. That's where he's going to be playing a majority of the season. So I'm not interested in entertaining it at all. He shouldn't move to the left, especially for week 1. He has Nick Bosa against him, Jeff. You don't want to deal with one of the best edge rushers in the NFL. It's not going to end well. It's not going to end well.
Well, can we answer Extreme Shaft's question? He said moving him back to left tackle isn't out of the ordinary. It's his natural position. Why not?
Because
can you explain that to him?
Yeah, because
you can do it or I can. It doesn't matter.
Well, we both can. I'll start and then I'll give you it. Penei Sewell is going to start a minimum of 14 to 15 games this year at right tackle, unless Taylor Decker misses the whole season. If Taylor Decker had a season-ending injury, okay, you move him to left. I'm cool with that. But with this offensive line healthy, Penei's on the right. He's on the right. They're clearly not moving Decker to the left. If they were, or Decker to the right, if they were, they would have given Penei Sewell snaps at left tackle in preseason. That's why. Am I missing anything, Jeff?
No, you're hitting it right on the head. Why move a guy? I get it. It's his natural position. left tackle. Natural in quotations because he hasn't played in 2 years. So to come back, he's going to have to at least get reps at left tackle again. You can't just throw him there before you verse on Nick Bosa and expect success. You can't. He's been playing right tackle in training camp, learning it, trying his hardest because he knows Taylor Decker is staying at the left side. All of a sudden now Decker's out, you're going to move him back, and then next week move him back to right tackle. It just doesn't make any sense. And the Nick Bosa point is probably the most important point because you're going against Nick Bosa and you're going to shatter this man's confidence game one like that. It just doesn't look very promising situation if you move him at left tackle, and that's just really the bottom line of it. You know,
the Lions have more to be concerned about than whether or not Penei Sewell's on the left or right now. They really do. Taylor Decker, even if he misses the one game, he'll be back for the full season. Penei needs to play on the right. I don't know how many times I have to repeat it. Penei needs to play on the right. He needs to. He needs the reps, or he's not going to play. He's not going to play unless he plays on the right. And you need to see him play because he hasn't played football in a year. And the first 3 games of the preseason, he looked awful. You need him to get reps. He's going to look awful the first 3, 4, 5, 6 games. Cool. As long as he's improving, you're happy. If he doesn't improve, you have a tough decision to make at the end of the year because you don't want to throw away this guy's potential career because you're playing him out of position. So you're going to give him the full season at right tackle.
Evaluate him from there.
And you go from there. And, you know, he did play right tackle prior to ever being a left tackle. So, you know, you can label him however you want, but oh, goodness God. Lions have more problems than Penei Sewell playing left or right. They got more to fix. So, that's all for that, Kennedy.
All right. Well, when we come back, we're going to switch from the NFL to college football. Lots and lots of football today. Hope you're enjoying it. Stick right here with us. But before we go, we need to tell you what we do on Friday nights around here at Woodward Sports.
All right, guys. Friday Night Clash. Every single Friday, we're picking the best high school games to go to. Excuse me. We're broadcasting them live, 9 p.m. on our YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. You'll be able to see Stick doing color play-by-play commentating. We'll have full game highlights, player of the games. We'll have a halftime kick, a field goal challenge. If you make it, that's $10,000 in your pocket. Bang, easy. It's fun. It's a great time. We give away a bunch of swag when we're down there. This week it's going to be Harper Woods, who are 2-0, playing Orchard Lake St. Mary's, who are also 2-0. It'll be at Orchard Lake. It'll be a great game, and we'll be there tonight, 9 p.m. Don't miss it. Don't miss the stream. And if you want to go attend the game live, you can go down there at 7 o'clock. Come support the kids.
I'm looking to bring on another HVAC tech right now.
We are recruiting 5 to 10 techs a month.
We're looking to grow and expand. Every new tech we hire is from Northwestern Tech.
The hands-on training is fantastic.
They're always my first call.
We love hiring Northwestern Tech grads.
They come out trained and ready to work.
Our program is only 10.5 months, and our next classes are starting soon. So why wait?
I'm looking to hire
a graduate
of Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech. Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Welcome back, everyone. You're tuning into Woodward Sports, featured on the Roar 93.5 FM, 99.1 FM, and 94.7 HD2. Happy to have you right here with us. Tomorrow at 8 p.m., the Wolverines take on the Washington Huskies. Michigan is a 6.5-point favorite. But, Adam, what are you expecting out of this game tomorrow?
It's going to be a very good game, but not close at all. I think Michigan are going to stomp Washington. Michigan showed me that they're going to be able to compete against like relatively good teams. I don't know about the better teams in the nation, but I think Michigan is set up for success. Washington, poor loss to open up the season. You know, Ronnie Bell's out, yes, but you know, Braylon Edwards sat up here on the bottom line all of this week and defended, hey, don't just look at the Ronnie Bell injury as, you know, a disaster. It's an opportunity for the guys under him to really step up and showcase their talents. And from what Braylon has told us, he's really confident in the wide receiving core that Michigan does have. So I think Michigan win this game. Washington lost to Montana.
I know.
Really? Like, Washington, I don't know. I think Michigan wins by more than 2 scores. I'm curious to see the betting lines because I'm probably going to take Michigan to cover whatever it is. So I'm looking forward to the game overall. I hope Michigan jumps out to an early lead, maybe even a blowout to a sense, maybe by the third quarter where they can put in J.J. McCarthy. I'd love to see more of him. And we'll see. Cade McNamara looked good game 1. We'll see how he does against Pac-12 talent instead of Western Michigan. How's he going to... The speed's a little different. It's a little faster. So we'll see how well he plays. I'm very curious. We'll see if they're able to run the ball as effectively as they were against Western. I do believe they should have no issues doing the same. It's Washington. Again, they lost to Montana. If Michigan loses this game, I don't know what to tell you. So I'm looking forward to it. I think it'll be a good game for Michigan. They'll probably sneak into the top 25 AP poll rankings with a win against Washington, especially if they blow them out. So that's my game. If you want my score prediction, I'd give Michigan a 38 to 17, 38 to 20 win.
Okay.
One of the two.
I can see that. It's definitely another game for Cade McNamara to solidify that QB1 position against a team that lost to Montana with their redshirt freshman quarterback, Dylan Morris, for the Washington Huskies. He threw 3 picks last game. So, listen, you got a guy that's turnover prone, a redshirt freshman. Michigan's going to take advantage of it. They got, the talent level comparison between these two teams is off the charts. And another thing is Michigan is on a roll. They just blew out Western Michigan. Washington, yes, they're a ranked opponent, but they're not much better. They're going to come in there and I think get a convincing win. It's at Michigan and Ann Arbor, so it's going to be a convincing win, definitely. But the real games I'm looking forward to is like in a couple weeks against Wisconsin. That's where it gets interesting to me. At least a better program, but I got Michigan convincingly. Similar to what Adam has score-wise. Like I could see upwards of 30-plus points. And I don't honestly see with Washington clearing like over 20. I think they'll get like 14 to 17, something around that area. But yeah, 30-plus points for Michigan. I think they get the job easily come Saturday.
All right. Well, I think the biggest thing for Michigan heading into this game is, one, are you going to be able to run the ball the way you did against Western? I think they should be able to. Washington, again, it's a Pac-12 team. They're more talented. The speed's going to be a little different from the Western game. Will Michigan be able to throw a deep ball? Are you going to be able to beat them deep if they stack the box? That's actually something that you're really going to have to look for in this game.
With no Ronnie Bell.
With no Ronnie Bell. Yeah. No clear 1A deep threat. If they stack the box and you got one-on-one coverage on the sideline, are you going to throw a 40-yard seam route? Are you going to be able to convert it? And if you are, Washington's in for a long day. If you aren't, well, it might be a low-scoring game then, because the clock's just going to be ticking from all the times they're going to be running the ball. We'll have to wait and see. I still think Michigan comes out on top. Charles, Michigan being unranked isn't like a bias from the voters. They just 2-4 last season. The expectations are probably the lowest they've ever been under Harbaugh, which is actually a good thing for this team. I agree with you on that. I think Michigan. Again, my bold prediction to start the college football year was Michigan and State are going to start 5-0. I do think both teams start 5-0. Michigan State has more of a cakewalk up until Game 5. Our State has more of a cakewalk than Michigan. Michigan, I believe, play Wisconsin in the 5th game, so that's kind of the key matchup. But I like it. I like Michigan. 27-24 Michigan. I don't think it's that close. I think Michigan should stay under the radar. I agree with Lynn. It's good for them. This is the first time, again, under Jim Harbaugh, their expectations are basically zero. I can't hate on it. And then you look at Michigan State. Michigan State, they're playing... God, Jeff, help me out here. I'm losing my mind.
What was the question?
Michigan State.
Who they versed?
Yeah, they're playing...
who they're playing this week?
Yeah, I'm losing my mind.
They are playing. Let me look. I have it right here. The schedule.
They play Youngstown.
Oh well, see.
Okay, it's gonna be an easy win.
So,
yeah, you got Youngstown,
Kenneth Walker's
Miami,
probably running for another 200.
Nebraska. I mean,
so there's not much to talk about State here, honestly, as much as I want to.
Yeah.
There's nothing to say about State. They got an easy game. They're gonna roll over this team. They probably win 37-3.
Yeah.
42 to 6.
They're gonna go on a tear until they get about Indiana, Michigan, Purdue. They got a couple teams they can go at it with. But yeah, the first 5 games, I could see that as well. I mean, I don't know who's beating them. You got Miami, maybe, but other than that, Youngstown, State, Nebraska, Rutgers, and Western. I don't know. Western Kentucky. I don't know. I doubt it. So, hey, I think Michigan will win. Not sure. I think it'll be by 2 touchdowns at least. So I think Cade will have a pretty good game, couple touchdowns. Maybe he throws his first interception. But other than that, they play well. I mean, they're going to do fine. And Blake Corum's going to play well as well.
Well, as a betting man, I would obviously take Michigan and Michigan State to win, but they're probably heavy favorites, so the money's not there. I would take Michigan State to cover for sure, and then I would consider taking the under. I don't know the number yet, though, so I have to find out what the under is for the Michigan-Washington game. I'm either taking the under or I'm taking Michigan to cover against Washington unless they just give Washington too much points. It's one of the two. Just like how I felt about Dallas. I felt the Bucs were going to win. They're just a better team. But when you give a team 9.5 points, you're telling me they need to win. They need to lose by 2 possessions. Oh, okay. Well, so I get a 10-point lead to start the game. Yeah, check that off for me. I'll take it. Because I think Dak's going to throw 3 touchdowns. He does. Boom. There you go. There's my 31 points. We covered. We're good. It's all a game. It's all math, boys. It's all numbers. It's not about feelings. So we'll be doing more bets later on in the show.
I believe. Do you want the numbers for it, Adam?
I believe at 9:54. 9:54 we'll be giving our bets of the weekend. But what was that, Kennedy?
I said, do you want the numbers for the Michigan?
Please. Yep.
Okay, so the favorite is Michigan. The spread is -7.
Really?
Yep.
Wow. Take it, guys, and run. Take it now. Take the 7 points. I think they win minimum by 10, 12, 14.
Okay,
I like
I'm
that.
Dumb, so I don't know what this means. But favorite spread odds is -103, whatever that means.
Okay, regardless. What's the money line?
The money. They don't have the money.
Okay, no. Okay, that's fine. Then go to State's game.
Oh, go to Michigan.
Yeah. What are State? What's the spread on State's game, and what's the over/under? Like, I'm actually curious. Please hold.
It's probably going to be dramatically different.
Well, I expect State to be probably a 3-4 touchdown favorite.
Yeah.
Against, unless this team is some amazing team, which I doubt they are. But no, look. When you look at Michigan, they're gonna attempt to control the clock. They're gonna keep their defense fresh. Hutchinson looked like a menace on the edge against Western Michigan, and that's the son of Steve Hutchinson, I believe he's a Hall of Fame lineman, or he's a future Hall of Fame lineman. But I played for the Minnesota Vikings, correct? All his career, Steve Hutchinson.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
It says Seattle Seahawks.
What is it?
Michigan State is the favorite, obviously, and the spread is -20.
Oh my God, that's so friendly. Michigan State put up what, 38 against Northwestern, and they won by 17. You're telling me they can't win by an additional 4 points against Youngstown?
Youngstown State, yeah, the Penguins.
There you go. Those are two cover bets. I like that. I like Michigan to win by more than a touchdown. I like State to win by more than 3 touchdowns. So basically 21 points is what they need to win by. I like it. And it's a good bet. I don't think Youngstown State is going to score that many points against State. I think Mel Tucker's improved the defense, dramatically from last year. So I don't think they'll be as leaky. So I like it. Kennedy. I'm not going to complain. Right. I'll tweet my bets for the weekend after the show, though. I'll be a kind gentleman. I'll give like 5 bets. We have 3 later today. I'm so excited about them. I have a lock that I wish I could just express to you how good I feel inside knowing that I got this team at an underdog price. Oh my goodness. I'm looking forward to Sunday football. My goodness. Football's back. This is like the best time of the year.
Got great games on Sunday.
I couldn't be any happier.
Fall's just the best season in general, in my humble
opinion. Well, it's easy for you to say because you're an Ohio State fan and a Notre Dame fan, which makes no sense to me.
How does it not make sense?
It's just
They're
weird.
They're not direct
You're like
rivals.
Maz. You're like Maz.
No,
Maz
I'm
likes
not
the Mets
like Maz.
and the Yankees. And he likes, I don't know, whatever New York teams are, the Nets and the Knicks. It doesn't make sense
Nets,
to me.
Knicks, Islanders, Devils.
That just makes no sense to me.
I'm not saying I like Michigan and Notre Dame or Michigan and Ohio State. That wouldn't make any sense. But, in my current memory, I only remember Ohio State and Notre Dame playing once in my, recent memory bank. And for everyone asking, because they will ask, I choose Notre Dame over Ohio State because Notre Dame's my number 1. Ohio State's my number 2.
I can't do that. I can.
You don't rank
the Lions are my number 1, but the Green Bay Packers are my number 2.
Okay.
What?
No. My number 2 is the Jags.
God, you're awful. After they cut Tim Tebow?
They still have Marvin Jones and Urban Meyer.
I hate how you think. I despise it. I don't know how you support Notre Dame and Ohio State at the same time. That makes no sense.
Well, I always keep tabs on all my favorite players. So, like, sometimes I still hop into an Eagles game and just check on Darius Slay.
I hope Darius Slay gets a season-ending injury. Just to piss you off.
That's mean.
Why would you say that?
Because I'm a horrible person.
That was horrible. All right. I'm over this. All right. Well, okay. So let's talk about where Jeff gets his haircut. How about that?
Jeff?
All right, let me tell you about Lady Jane's. All right, listen, guys, let's be honest. We all like simple stuff, and we like football 5 days a week, preferably, and we like things uncomplicated. Like Lady Jane's haircuts for men. Walk in, sign in, sit down, and before you know it, you're handsome and clean. Go to Lady Jane's, open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in any time because it's simply wicked awesome.
Opa! Introducing Papa Romano's new Greek pizza, a tasty blend of bold Greek flavors and Mediterranean toppings, including feta cheese and Greek dressing. Get a large Greek pizza for a limited time for $16.99. Order now at paparomanos.com.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
Welcome back, everybody. You're tuning into the Morning Wood. Happy to have you here. For all of you in the chat calling me a bandwagon fan, you're full of it. That's not how I'm loyal.
Bandwagon!
That's how this works. Okay. I'm loyal as heck. That's how this works. I follow my favorite players that usually have started on the Lions or a college team that I like, and I just check on them
or
and make
just
sure
any
they're
team.
doing well. What was that, Fish?
Or any team.
Or any team? No. Notre Dame hasn't always been great, and they're still sometimes shaky, and Brian Kelly and I have beef once in a while. So I'm not even a bandwagoner there. My Notre Dame fandom is blood, okay? My great-grandpa went there, and my grandpa is a donor of the school. So therefore, I've been going to Notre Dame games since I was a baby and grew up a Notre Dame fan. And that's all I will say. Moving on to NFL football. NFL. Regular season awards, the guys are going to give you their predictions right now. So we've been doing a lot of predicting today. So guys, who is your prediction for MVP, offensive and defensive player of the year, and offensive and defensive rookie of the year? Jeff, let's start with you.
So let me start we'll go MVP. We'll start at the top, the most important award. Listen, I got Josh Allen. And I think this man simply last year was I don't think he was robbed of the MVP trophy, but he definitely deserved more credit. I mean, he had 37 touchdowns, 10 picks, took the Bills pretty deep in the playoffs. So I got Josh Allen coming back this year. He'll throw upwards of 30-plus, maybe 40 touchdowns. I think he's going to have a monster year. And why not this year? I mean, Patrick Mahomes, you got Lamar. They've already won MVPs. Maybe Tom's in that conversation, but I got Josh Allen, and that's where I'm putting my faith, Adam.
All right, well, we agree. I have Josh Allen winning MVP. I think he's the clear favorite. I don't see anybody really competing for him or with him.
Yeah.
There is one person, though, that, you have to look at MVP, not just a statistic award. It's a narrative award as well. Like, what are you doing that makes you so valuable? And I think Dak winning 10, 11, maybe games this year, 10, 11, and winning the division and putting up, insane numbers, which I think we all expect him to do, he could be in that conversation. He's kind of my, sleeper MVP, but for me, I think it's Josh Allen. I think Allen walks away with an MVP and a Super Bowl.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, that's what I had as well. It's just, what a year for Josh Allen, man. I mean, that we're predicting. But more importantly, I think I could even throw Matthew Stafford in that, sleeper conversation. Storyline's important. Yeah, hasn't won anything in Detroit, goes to L.A. and becomes their quarterback. If they win a playoff game or two, not that it's a playoff award, but if he puts up statistics, which we know Matthew knows how to do, he's got quite the arm on him. I think he'll put himself in that conversation as well. But there's a couple guys that are sleepers. But yeah, I got Josh Allen. We mutually agree. And you want to go? We're doing Coach of the Year.
Yeah, we can do Coach of the Year.
Okay.
We can do Coach of the Year right now.
Because I actually have Sean McDermott.
Really?
Yes.
Bills again.
Yes, and this is why. I think last year Kevin Stefanski won it, but Sean McDermott should have been more in that conversation. I think this year, Kevin Stefanski's gonna win probably 11 games again. He's not going to be considered for Coach of the Year, obviously, again. So who does that leave? I think Sean McDermott. If you got an MVP on your team and you guys have a great regular season, why not give it to Sean McDermott? I think he's deserved it, and thus far. So I got Sean.
I do want to say I think Stefanski earned it last season.
He did.
I sat up here and I made it very clear. Him and Brian Flores were neck and neck, and I felt like Sean McDermott, although he deserved to be in the conversation, what those two had done with their teams was significantly, season changing from year to year than McDermott. But I think it's a good pick. But mine is gonna surprise you a little bit. I think Arthur Smith is gonna win Coach of the Year. I think he's gonna lead the Falcons to a 9-8 record. 10-7. They're going to be a wild card team, surprise a lot of people. They're going to go from one of the worst teams in the NFL to a wild card team. I think they're one of those teams that make that jump, and he'll probably be recognized for it. If I had to give you a second as a backup, it would probably be Kyle Shanahan. I think he's going to lead them back to the, status of contenders. So I think they're a 10-11 win football team. We'll see, but I'm going to stick with Arthur Smith for this season. That's going to be my pick.
Okay, honestly, I like it as a sleeper. I like it as a pick because if he comes down and wins, I haven't heard a lot of Arthur Smith, so that's a great pick. I love it. But we'll go down. I don't know who you want to start with. Offensive Player of the Year, I guess we'll go with.
Okay, I'll start with Offensive Player of the Year. For me, it's Dak Prescott.
Are you looking at my list? I got to turn my computer. I think he's looking.
Kennedy, when we share notes, you get them away. Separate emails.
He's
going
writing
forward.
my stuff down. Okay. I swear to God.
Right. Well, I mean, he threw 400 yards last night.
I know.
The guy is actually capable of throwing for 6,000 yards.
Yes.
It's kind of ridiculous. Yeah. Outside of him, who's going to compete with him throwing that much, that volume? Nobody. Not even Kyler Murray's going to throw that. It's not going to have that much volume. It's ridiculous. No. It has to be Dak. I'm glad we agree. I mean, I feel like that's the obvious one for offensive player.
Considering what happened last year before he got injured. He was leading the league in yards for the next 4
yards
weeks.
4 or 5 weeks?
Yeah.
It was ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, no, I'm glad we both agree on Dak. Do you want to move forward, or you kind of want to add anything on Dak? I'm not sure because we both agree. I wasn't expecting
Urban Meyer's going to be Coach of the Year. And I wanted to throw that out.
Urban Meyer's not winning Coach of the Year. He's winning 4 or 5 games this year.
I will add this, especially seeing Game 1 yesterday for the Cowboys. I think this makes the argument even more secure and locked in because they're clearly going to favor. I mean, he threw a career high in attempts yesterday, 58. So they're not going to be afraid to throw the ball. And what else? And Dak can sling that thing. He's got plenty of receivers. So I feel like it's the safe pick. It's the right pick. And like you said, I don't see a single other quarterback who has the amount of weapons and ability to really put up numbers like this. I mean, I don't.
Dak is on pace to throw 6,800 yards.
Oh, my God.
Dak is Offensive Player of the Year.
Yeah.
We'll
move on.
Defensive Player of the Year. I'll let you go. Here you go.
I got T.J. Watt coming through winning this year.
Come on.
Listen, because last year he did lead the league in sacks. Aaron Donald won the Defensive Player of the Year, which deservingly so. But I think T.J. Watt just got paid. And if we know one thing about players getting paid is it either, one, makes them relax and chillax, or two, lets them play better because the payday is off their shoulders. They can focus on just playing football. So I think it's going to do point B to TJ Watt. I think we'll come out and have another monster season. And why not? If he's one of the only guys on that Pittsburgh Steelers roster getting after the quarterback, I got TJ Watt winning Defensive Player of the Year.
Jeff, I've been admiring you this segment because, we've agreed on MVP, Offensive Player of the Year, and I liked your pick for a Coach of the Year, but, bro, there's one guy. I can't believe you. I hope you considered him significantly.
I'm sure. Name him.
Chase Young is going to win Defensive Player of the Year this year. Chase Young, at the odds he's at, plus 1,000. Look, Chase Young probably leads the league in sacks this year. Washington has the best defensive front probably in football, maybe top 2 if you want to argue, Tampa Bay or maybe even. Regardless, we're talking about Chase Young. That's my pick for Defensive Player of the Year. I think he's over 17, 18 sacks this year.
Wow.
He's
over doubling
He's
his rookie
going to have
year.
a dominant year.
Yeah.
A dominant year. And my number 2 would have been Aaron Donald. My 3 would have been TJ Watt. It's gotta be Chase Young for Defensive Player of the Year. No doubts in my mind. No doubt.
You're putting your faith in the doubling. I mean, he had 7.5 sacks. He showed flashes of dominance that rookie year, definitely in the playoffs. Even like the kid's ready to make that jump. But if I'm in a situation where, let's say, T.J. Watt ends the year next year, or even Aaron Donald for that matter, around 15 to 17 sacks, they have a great year, and Chase Young is around that same number. You think they'll give it to Chase Young strictly just based off?
No, Chase Young's going to have to outperform because T.J. Watt has more tackle ability, tackle for loss, sacks, interceptions,
forced fumbles, and
so
stuff.
Chase Young's got to over-deliver on the sack department. So my pick is Chase Young. I like the Myles Garrett pick. We'll see him in the chat. Mika Parsons, Romeo Okwara, really? No, not going to happen.
And Myles Garrett's good for about a sack a game. I mean, that guy is...
He's a beast.
Yes, he's a beast. So,
he actually turned out good for a number 1 overall pick. Like, he actually
for the
lived
Browns.
up to what you would think a number 1 pick lives up to. It was impressive. He's a very good player. Very good. All right, Jeff, your offensive rookie of the year.
Offensive rookie of the year. This is an odd one, but I'm going Mac Jones. I think. Did you have him? God, I hate this guy so much. I was thinking last night. I was like, well, Trevor Lawrence would be the easy pick. He's the number 1 pick. I think he'll play well. But come on, you can't deny the situation Mac Jones is in. He has the most stacked team among rookies. So he's got wide receivers, tight ends for that matter, and a defense. So I got him.
If you had to pick one, since we agree. We both agree
Besides
Mac Jones.
Mac.
He's in the best position to win it. It's like clear. I'm surprised he's not even the overall favorite. But regardless, if you had to pick one outside of Mac Jones, who's it going to be?
Trevor Lawrence, because I think he can do more with less.
All right, I think Kyle Pitts. I think Kyle Pitts might break Mike Ditka's record for receiving yards in a season by a rookie.
Oh my God!
Yeah, and I think if he does break the record, I think he'll win it over Mac. Excuse me. I think he wins it over Mac Jones.
You're probably right.
So Kyle Pitts is my number 2.
I wouldn't sleep on Kyle Pitts. Honestly, that's not a bad pick because he could easily explode with the emergence.
I'm piecing it all together. Arthur Smith, Coach of the Year.
Yeah. He's got
Kyle Pitts, Rookie of the Year. It makes sense. It makes sense. I'm telling you guys.
It's interesting. You can't go wrong.
Defensive Player of the Year.
I just said my TJ Watt.
Sorry, Defensive Rookie of the Year.
Defensive Rookie. Okay,
excuse me.
I'll go. You know what? I like the kid out of Alabama, Patrick Surtain. I think he'll in Denver. No.
Here.
No. I swear to God, he copied my notes. Oh, okay. You know what? He's not. This guy, we just think the same. I don't know why. But you know what? Surtain, because in Denver, Vic Fangio, defensive-minded guy. You got, I think, the best corner. J.C. Horn's going to be a good corner, but Patrick Surtain, father played in the NFL. Like, he's got all the tools for him in Denver, and I think that'll be the best impact. They're going to need their defense this year. Teddy Bridgewater, Drew Lock, they're going to struggle. So count on that defense. You know, and it's a stacked defense, and you got Patrick Surtain guarding the wide receivers. So
Patrick Surtain looked good in the preseason. He looked real good. He made J.C. Horn and every other cornerback in this draft look like peanuts. I like Patrick Surtain for Defensive Rookie of the Year, but there is one player I think that can compete with him. We saw flashes of him last night. You know, I know Dallas's defense overall isn't all that great, but I gotta say, Mika Parsons looks good. He looks the part. He plays the part. He was filling the gaps, stopping the run. You know, he was going against Tom Brady.
Yeah, there's some moments
That's
where
the hardest game. The most difficult debut to make is to drop back into pass coverage against Tom Brady. Good luck.
Right.
So I'm not gonna overreact to him, but I gotta say Parsons looked good. I like it. He'd be a good number 2 for me, but I'm 100% on board with you. Patrick Surtain is the obvious pick.
And there's like the Jamin Davises of Washington in the world. Like there's other explosive guys that can make impact right away. But yeah, Patrick Surtain, like on paper, Micah Parsons, there were some moments last night where Tom got him. And like you said, it's Tom Brady, man. You're going to bite on the play action your first game. I mean, it's welcome to the NFL moment. But over time, he's going to turn into a Devin White type player, like a guy who extremely fast, can get after the quarterback, play in coverage, guard tight ends, like. He's a talented guy, and I like Micah Parsons. I think he'll have a future in this league, and he's a great second pick. You could throw him behind a Patrick Surtain for pick of Defensive Player of the Year. There's a couple other guys like that you could see, but yeah, I think we pretty much mutually agree. The fact that we agree means it's a pretty clear-cut list. I mean, there's only a couple guys really outside of who we picked that would be eligible for this list, but yeah, I can't hate you for Micah Parsons at all.
All right, cool.
For throwing him up there.
Those are our regular season award predictions. If you had to choose...
What about comeback player of the year?
All right, those are where I was going with
okay,
it. Do you want me to go first?
Yeah.
I think the easy comeback player of the year is going to be Dak. There's no way he doesn't win the award if he just stays healthy this year. He's going to win. He's coming off a terrible leg injury. He's winning Comeback Player of the Year. I don't think anybody can compete with him for that award.
The only person way below Saquon, but he's delayed on his return.
Saquon's got to rush for 1,700 yards, or like not 17, maybe 1,500. Get over 2,000 yards from scrimmage. Almost 20 touchdowns, just to even like kind of compete with what Dak's going to put up.
And if Dak wins Offensive Player of the Year, and he's coming off an ankle injury, shoulder, like he's going to win Comeback Player of the Year. It's
I love chat has jokes.
Put the 2 and 2 together.
Tavai Comeback Player of the Year. What do you think?
Has a monster season.
I will say if Tavai wins Comeback Player of the Year, or just like turns out to be a stud, I would really have to consider everything I've said about him and take it back and swallow some humble pie. I haven't been wrong yet about a lot of things. I haven't been wrong much. So
I like the Nick Bosa Comeback Player of the Year. That's not a bad pick. Like
it's tough. It's tough because like I like it. It makes sense. Him and Saquon I really like.
Right.
But Dak came off a broken everything. Like his foot was shattered. His ankle was gone.
Broken, shattered ankle.
Like it was completely gone. And we all saw the injury. It was nasty. And he's going to come out and probably throw for 6,000 yards.
It's crazy.
He's going to win comeback. If he wins Offensive Player of the Year, he's probably winning Comeback Player of the Year. It's that simple. I think he's winning both awards. He's winning both. It's really hard to bet against Dak. It's really hard for me to bet against Dak this year. So those are our regular season award predictions. Kennedy, if you had to choose an MVP, I'll just give you the easy one. An MVP, who would it be? Don't tell me Trevor Lawrence or Tim Tebow.
No, but I do love everybody in the chat saying Tebow Comeback Player of the Year. I don't know. This is so much pressure. The bet. I mean, I kind of hope Stafford pulls it out, but I don't think he will.
Peter King does. He certainly thinks he can.
True, but I don't foresee that happening. I don't know. Maybe Patrick Mahomes. I don't freaking know. That'd be my guess. Comeback play. Okay, this is a question though. For Comeback Player of the Year, could it be Kittle? Because he also is coming back from
again.
injury.
No, like I like Kittle, Bosa. I like all these guys. But you're talking. You have to compete for an award with a quarterback. It's impossible. You're not going to win it. Dak's winning that award. If he plays 15, 16 games, he's winning it. He's just winning it. There's no chance.
He got injured so early last season. Like Kittle played like 8-9 games. I think Dak left like 4 or 5 games into the season. He was out.
Dak doesn't need to throw 60 times a game to put up those yards. He went against one of the best defenses in the NFL last night, and I expect him to average anywhere from 32 to 38 attempts a game in the Kellen Moore system right now. I think that's just the way they got to go. You have CeeDee Lamb and Amari Cooper, Michael Gallup, Schultz. Like you have pieces. You got to throw the ball. Like, Kellen Moore told you everything he thought about his team last night. It's like, you know what? Tampa Bay knows how to stop the run. What do you want me to do? I'm throwing the ball 60 times. I'm taking my one-on-one matchups. And you know what? That's what kept them in the game. Because I promise you, if they committed to the run and ran over 25 times, they would have lost that game by 2 touchdowns.
Agreed.
So,
People are screaming Jalen Hurts in the chat.
Jalen Hurts is going to be out of the league in 2 years.
Ooh.
There.
Dang.
He's in Philly. If they didn't believe in Carson Wentz and they weren't willing to support Carson Wentz, you think they're going to support Jalen Hurts, who is a mobile quarterback, hasn't proven he can throw consistently in the NFL? Granted, it's only a few games and it's not enough of a sample size to make a judgment yet, but my gut feeling, Jalen Hurts is out of the league in a few years. And Philly moves on, and they probably become the Detroit Lions over the last 10, 12 years. They become extremely bad. Sorry.
I don't like it.
I don't care. It's Philly. I could care less about Philly.
My boy's there. Anyway. All right, well, coming up next, we've got some more predictions for you, but these ones are Lions-based, so stick around for that. But before we go, Adam, tell people how BetQL can help them out.
Well, I told you guys about BetQL yesterday, and I told you that I run every bet I'm going to make through this application. And it gives me the pros and cons. It doesn't just give me a take Dallas plus 9.5. No, it'll tell me the pros of taking them at 9.5 and the cons. And it'll give you historical data. They run thousands and thousands and thousands of simulations. I love this app. It has all the data and analytics you could ask for. It's literally all in your phone. You can go between that and your sportsbook that you're betting on, and you can make educated decisions. I love it. Use the code WSN and you'll get 25% off any subscription you decide to sign up for. I do recommend it. I've been using it. I've been enjoying it, and it's reassuring when an application runs data samples and it comes back that it agrees with your bets, and then it also makes you question them when it doesn't agree, and you're like, okay, wait, I see what it's saying, but no, I'm very confident this is going to play out. I love BetQL. I love how it works. It's made me think even more on betting, and it makes me appreciate betting even more. So make sure you use code WSN to sign up for BetQL. Show them some love. They're a supporter of the network, and honestly, I love using their application. It's great software. It's all the data you'll need to bet.
Morning, Art.
Morning, D-Mac.
Welcome back, everybody. Thanks for joining us right here on the Morning Wood on the Woodward Sports Network. We are happy to have you here. The weekend starts tomorrow or tonight, depending on how you look at it. When my workday ends, it's the weekend. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, we're doing even more predictions, but these ones are Lions-based. So what is your score prediction for Sunday's game before we get into your regular season predictions for the Lions, Jeff?
So for me, this is hard because about a month ago, I think I was on the show, and I said they'd win 5 games. 5-12 was my prediction. I just don't think this year there's a lot of promise with the young guys, but to produce results with the top 6 hardest schedule in the league, top 5 hardest schedule, it's tough. I got them. You know what? I truly believe. I hate this. This argument's repeated.
Start with the game first before you dive into the whole.
Like
season.
Just number.
Yeah.
I got 6-11.
6-11 for your season game.
Yeah.
For the regular season.
Yes.
What's your prediction for the game on Sunday?
It's a loss, and I think that's where they start. I think their first 3 games they can go 0-3.
Okay, give me a score and give me why.
31-17. And I think maybe 31-14. Honestly, it'll be over 2 touchdowns. I have that. And that's not me knocking the Lions. That's just simply saying I think the 49ers are just a better team. I mean, Adam's over here acknowledging they have a chance to make it deep in the playoffs. And we're going to really come out and say we're going to beat this team and outclass a Kyle Shanahan. It just doesn't seem likely. And as much as I'm a Detroit Lions fan, you just got to be real and acknowledge the fact this team's unproven. Which, yes, it's unproven. So why not? They can come out and surprise us. But what I do know is the talent level on this team isn't significant. I mean, there's guys that we haven't seen play. And I went through the schedule, and I pulled out 6 wins. I think we'll split with the Bears. We'll split with the Vikings. And I got winning against the Bengals, and I got 6 wins. I think we can be a win better than last season. That roster was horrid. Yes, we downgraded at quarterback. I will acknowledge that. But other positions, we upgraded. And I think Jared Goff just fits this system a little better. Yes, Matthew would be an upgrade if we had him back. But Jared, is just one of those quarterbacks, like a Kirk Cousins. He just will do his job. And I think he'll do it at a level where he'll get wins. I don't think we'll be 4 or 3 wins. I don't think we'll be that bad. But 6-11 was my final prediction in the year 1. And then year 2, year 3 will gradually get better. But it just depends on the young players. You got Jeff Okudah, DeAndre Swift, both defensive and offensive tackles. Like, these guys need to hit this year, and they have a chance to get better every year. So they have a chance to be better than they were last year, and we won 5 games. So that's what I'm basing it off of. I got 6-11, and maybe Adam will tear me a new one, but I want to hear what he has to say. Okay, so you guys are going to be surprised by my answer, actually. So regarding Sunday's game, it's very unpredictable at this point, but I'm pretty confident the Niners walk away with a 37-23 win. I think they win by 2 touchdowns. Game over. Like, Detroit's not going to be able to compete with San Francisco. If they do, I would be genuinely surprised. And that's great. Good performance. Way to start the Dan Campbell era. Great. But I don't expect it. I really don't. Especially against a 49er team I think are contenders in the NFC. Moving past that, overall regular season record. Last time we did this, I said 4-13. And I'm changing that. There are things that happen around the NFL to teams that the Lions play
that I think affect the Lions' win-loss outcome. And I'm going to add one more win. And I'm going to have them at 5. I'm going to have the Detroit Lions at 5-12. Ideally, they finish one less. That way I can win my bet. I'm biased. I'm sorry. But I do think that they win 5 games. 6, I don't think is, overwhelmingly impossible.
It's more unlikely,
but I think 5 is fair. 4 is likely. Is that a good way to break it down? I think 6 is a bit much. 5 is fair. 4 wins is likely. So I'm gonna stick with 5-12. I think the 49ers are gonna roll over this team. They've shown that they can compete even without their quarterback. Whether or not they win all those games, no, of course not. No team can overcome missing out their quarterback the last 3 of the last 4 seasons. It's impossible to overcome. But when Jimmy Garoppolo starts and he's healthy, they're 26-8 or 28-6. It's one of the two.
Right.
Good luck. Even if Jimmy G goes down and he just has an awful first quarter, they have Trey Lance waiting, which means you didn't even prepare for Trey Lance. So good luck adjusting to that mid-game. The Niners, look, you guys can talk about the Niners all you want being inconsistent under Kyle Shanahan. All I see is injuries. Oh, those are excuses. No, it's not. It's reality. If the Lions had devastating injuries the last 7 seasons, you'd be telling me, well, it's because of all the injuries, Adam. Like, what are we supposed to do? I'm like, well, yeah, I agree. It's kind of hard to overcome injuries, especially at the most important position in football, which is quarterback. So with Jimmy Garoppolo healthy, I think they win this game. I think they win it comfortably. I think the Lions show glimpses of, positive things that you can take into week 2 and for the rest of the season, but I don't see them winning this football game. I just don't. Fish, I want to know your final score prediction because I know you're going to pick the Lions to win. It's not so much the answer I'm looking for. I want to know by how much.
What, for this weekend's game?
I want to know how much the Lions are going to win this football game by because I know you're going to pick the Lions to win.
34-17.
Jesus, Fish. A 17-point win. Man, Fish.
Let's go, Fishy.
Let's go, Fish.
Fish has been on a roll.
I need whatever Fish is on.
He's drinking that Kool-Aid that Art's drinking. It's all the same
Kool-Aid. It's
Kool-Aid
or cocaine, but
those kneecaps are going to be flying all around.
Listen, my 6 wins has a lot, or even I'm not even going to get to the 10 wins by Fish because that has to do with everything coming together. And somehow we added wide receivers in free agency. But nonetheless, I digress. My 6 wins is based off this team really gelling early than I expect because I think we'll go 0-3 and I think we'll have a chance to get some wins after that, split with Chicago, split with Minnesota. But my prediction is midway through half of this year, this team will start to click, and that's what I'm thinking. I don't know if this whole 17 weeks will be an uphill battle. Hopefully not. But I'm glad you came around, Adam. You added a win.
I added a win because I feel like 4-13 is very realistic for this football team.
Yeah, I like how you put
5. I think 5. If you want to give them 5, I think that's fair. I think giving them anything over 6 is ridiculous. 6 alone is, things happen in football. You get a few things that break your way. Okay, fine, but I'm not entertaining anything more than 6. I got the Lions finishing 4-2 in the division and wins against Cincinnati, Pittsburgh, Arizona, and the Atlanta Falcons. Charles. Okay, so you're telling me they got to beat the Packers once, beat either the Vikings or the Bears twice, and then beat whichever team they don't beat twice once. So they're going to finish 4-2 and then finish the season 8-9. That is quite impossible. That is quite impossible. I don't see it happening. You're telling me they're going to beat Pittsburgh? Okay.
No.
Compare the roster. Cincinnati? Okay, I believe that. Atlanta? Okay.
In L.A.? I mean, there's other teams.
You got to go away to L.A.? I mean, good luck. You got Cleveland?
Yeah, Cleveland.
Our chat thinks Cleveland's going to the Super Bowl. You going to beat Cleveland, guys? Come on. Adam, could this Lions team go 0-17? Mike, I have a confession to make. I have a deep part of my heart.
Oh, God, here we go.
I hate when you talk about this.
That is absolutely praying for this team to go 0-17. It would be one of the greatest storylines in NFL history.
To who? To you.
To the NFL. That would be the storyline of the year.
The Lions
a team,
would be
one
the
of the few
biggest
teams.
joke.
One of the few teams. It's been a joke for 60 years, so I don't know what you want from me. I'm just telling you what the reality of the team is. So The team that went 0-16 in the inaugural 17-game schedule goes 0-17. There is no better storyline out there. No better storyline outside of the Lions going 0-17. Do I think it's possible? Probably not. I don't think they go 0-17, but my goodness, the story it would be. It would be a fairy tale story so befitting of the Lions organization.
Okay, I will say, though, yesterday for my hot clock, and if you don't watch those, you should, because I work really hard on them, okay? They're posted on our social media every day. Lions fans are not as insane as we think. Only 3.9% of them say we'll have 10 or more wins. The majority say we'll have 4 to 5 wins, which is what I have them at, with 37.9%. We're not that insane.
I don't care if you're insane or not, but
you're always like, we're delusional and blah, blah.
You guys are.
Fish.
Well, yeah, Fish are.
That's
half the chat.
Of Lions
half the
fans.
chat saying that, it's not that the Lions can't beat the 49ers. It's that you actually expect them to. That is delusion. I could be totally wrong, and the Niners literally crap the bed, and they throw, let's say 3 interceptions in the first half, and the Lions just jump out to a 2-touchdown, 3-touchdown lead, and they somehow hold on to it. This is football. It can happen. There's no guarantees in football. But to actually expect them to win blows my mind against a team that is finally healthy, a team that we expect to be contenders in the NFC. Get out of here. Drives me nuts. Drives me nuts.
All right. Well, coming up, we've got Fish's Facts, my favorite part of the whole entire day. So I hope you're all buckled in and ready for that because, you know what? They're always fun. I was sending Fish some facts last night, so we'll see if he uses them today. He probably won't because they were about American sports. But I digress. We will see. But before we go, Adam, can you tell us about our friends over at Levels?
I sure will. Starting right now, get 10% off your order just by mentioning Woodward Sports. Stop by, visit Levels today, and download their app. You can find them on the Google Play Store or the Apple Store. Search Enjoy Levels. Everything from T Grizzlies gas to D-Mac. Our very own D-Mac special strain and edibles are all on sale now. Download the Enjoy Levels app today and start saving money and upgrade your cannabis experience.
Hi, I'm David Hall from Hall Financial. With historically low interest rates and 5-star service, you could pay your mortgage off faster without increasing your monthly payment. Get started now at 248-308-5000 or chat with us online. Call hallfirst.com.
You like to win a custom-built chopper while helping our veterans at the same time?
Then watch as we turn this bike into a one-of-a-kind classic chopper.
Watch the Call Sam Chopper Shop on our social media channels and get your raffle ticket today at callsam.com/chopper shop.
Is it time?
Yeah, it is. Fish!
Go fish.
Fish Facts.
It's fish!
Guess what, everybody? It's here. The weekend. Not the band, but the actual weekend.
Oh, it's a singer, actually. It's
coming up.
It's a singular
this
man,
weekend.
Fish. And you know what? I love that you say that. All right, Adam, he's over here like it's every other day. It's just a normal Friday. He's ready for some football Sunday,
This is
though.
not a normal Friday.
It is not a normal Friday. Well, no Friday's ever normal for him. He always just mopes around and says, I think every day like a Friday. Which is kind of true. But you gotta look forward to something. No?
No, I agree,
Okay,
Fish.
cool.
Just leave it. You know what I mean? Just tell us about your facts. What do you got for us today?
I will. As we have a video to start off your day bright and early. We go out to Australia. There was a game. There were 2 games this morning. I chose the Australian football game, which happened this morning. I believe this was in the first quarter of the game that happened. Boop! Little sidestep. They won 133-42 or 125-42.
How many points is a score each?
6 points. You
So
hit it through the middle.
133.
They got 133-42.
It's a blowout.
It was a blowout. So they were 120. They won by 86. So I believe 125-42. So it was exciting. One guy got 5 goals, I believe. Good for him. We go to facts. Good for the Yankees. Well, bad for the Yankees. They were swept in 4 games by the Blue Jays and never had the lead. It's the first time the Yankees never had a lead in 4+ games since June 23 through 25 in 1924 against the Washington Senators. They played 1,250 series of 4 games plus, and they have had a lead in every single one.
Hate the Yankees. Screw him. Go. What does it say? Go Maz. Of course he loves the dang Yankees.
He does love the Yankees.
Jumping right on that.
And speaking of America's team, the Yankees are baseball's team, even though technically they should not be.
No.
But they are. There was a game last night. I don't know if any of you watched it. It was American football. It was the NFL that happened last night. First game of the season. It was the Buccaneers Cowboys. Buccaneers won, by the way, last-minute field goal. Rob Gronkowski's second-quarter touchdown grab was his 9th career receiving touchdown on a kickoff weekend. Ties him with Rory Frazier for the most all-time by a tight end.
Yeah, Gronk ages backwards, man. I don't know what he looks better every single. Yeah, like we said earlier, the year off helped him tremendously. So now he's fresh. He's got the GOAT throwing him the ball. Fish, you could probably play tight end out there. Tom Brady throwing you the rock. You think you could run some routes?
Possibly.
I think you catch some balls.
Speaking of age, Tom Brady.
Oh God.
Yeah, he has now engineered 49 game-winning drives in the fourth quarter or overtime in his career. Yes, by the way, yesterday was his 300th game. I was disappointed that they just threw up a graphic. Like, we're not going to celebrate. We're not going to have him walk on the field by himself. No run through the banner, nothing.
Hey.
We're just going to, boop, little graphic up there.
You look up clutch in that dictionary, man. It's those 3 guys. I mean, in QB statistics, they come back. They're game winners.
Yeah, they do a good job.
I
49 game.
Maz thinks Tom Brady isn't the GOAT. It drives me nuts.
Who does he have as the GOAT?
I don't know.
Doesn't
it's
have
just not
him.
Tom Brady.
He just strictly says it's not Tom.
He just says it's not Tom Brady. He's the
Okay.
luckiest of all time.
Answer.
He probably says Jerry Rice or something.
I don't know, but all I know is Tom Brady's won 2 Super Bowls, and even those are questionable.
Or he probably since Lawrence Taylor, I'm sure.
Oh, he probably
New
loves
York,
Lawrence
New York,
Taylor, yeah. 49 game-winning drives in the fourth quarter or overtime of his career since 1970. Only QBs that have more are Peyton Manning and Drew Brees, which, by the way, Drew Brees was on the pregame desk yesterday for NBC. So congratulations to Drew Brees, and Peyton Manning's on ESPN, who we'll see in the alternate broadcast on Monday, unless you choose Steve Levy, Louis Riddick, and Brian Greasy. That's a good cast.
Yeah, either one. I mean, it's all preference.
We have birthdays today. By the way, today is the 10th of September. Breshad Perriman. Happy birthday to him.
Good. I'm glad he's cut. Bye. Happy birthday, buddy. Goodbye. Cool. Move on.
1993.
Send him a birthday card.
It is
I'm not
his
sending him a
birthday. You
birthday
can send him a card if you would like. We have a Detroit birthday today, but before we get to a Detroit birthday, Jay Williams. It is his birthday today.
Oh, love Jay Williams. I love listening to him talk about just sports in general. He's a smart guy, man. Really intelligent.
He's intelligent. College basketball analyst.
Yeah.
Does a great job for ESPN. He is 1981. The date, by the way, not 1981. Anyways, you guys don't care. We have a Detroit birthday. Do you guys know who it is? No?
A birthday?
No guesses? Yep.
What is a name? Give me like a hint. Like what is it? What do they do? What's a career for them?
It's Detroit related, sports related, Detroit related, basketball related.
Ben Wallace.
Ding, ding, ding.
Let's go!
Happy birthday to Ben Wallace. It is his birthday today.
Love Ben.
So go wish him a happy birthday. He was the at the lottery draft where they picked the number 1 player, which they picked Cade Cunningham. And we'll see how good Cade Cunningham is when they start in October.
Ooh. Man, happy birthday to Ben Wallace. Can't believe I got that. I was going to say Rasheed Wallace, but I was like, well.
You picked the right one.
Yeah.
Picked the right one. Ben Wallace's birthday.
All right, well, now we have to get into the part of the show that everyone in the chat has been absolutely begging for. The bets. The best bets of the weekend. The guys are going to give you their 3 best bets. Let's just get this over with and start with Adam.
All right. My first game, which we'll call them what? Best bets of the weekend? My first best bet of the weekend, and it's probably my super ultimate lock, is the Giants at plus 126. I can't believe I get the Giants at home to Denver. A Denver Bronco team that I'm not too worried about offensively. They're not that dynamic. Teddy Bridgewater is their quarterback. I think it'll be a close game. But I'm getting the Giants at plus 1. I'm doubling and almost tripling my money. I'm taking the Giants plus 126. I love it. They're going to beat the Denver Broncos. Let's go. That's my first one. Jeff.
Well, I actually, listen, realistically, I can't bet. But I'll tell you, winners, I think. A couple games that I think are sure lock. I mean, I don't know what the betting odds are, but listen. One game I was looking at convincingly for me is you got the Dolphins and Patriots, and we know Bill Belichick against young quarterbacks, and he has his own very young quarterback, Mac Jones, and the guy who we think will be the most fastest productive rookie this year in the quarterback class. So give me the Patriots over the Dolphins Sunday. That's a lock. It's at New England in Mass. So give me the Patriots. I think they'll easily win that game.
All right. Well, speaking of the Patriots Miami Dolphins game, that is the next game I'm giving you my lock on, and my lock is going to be on the over. It's set at 43.5 points. I think the game actually finishes 24-20. And it's going to finish just over. 43.5 points is very low in today's NFL. I understand it's week 1, Miami, New England. We expect a tight, close game. I still think it goes over 43.5 points. That is my second lock of the game, or of the weekend, I should say. Jeff, your second lock.
Second lock, I think the Los Angeles Rams come out and easily beat the Bears. I think this is a big game for Matthew Stafford. Especially,
you're taking the money line? You're not going like spread or anything?
Listen, I can't bet. Like I'm not 21. I don't know.
You're offering your best bets of the weekend.
You're not going to take advice from someone who hasn't placed illegal. But you got Adam's bets. The man had his own segment. We'll take his bets. But I'm just giving you some picks of mine. I think the Rams versus the Bears. The Rams pull out. I think it's is it at LA or at Chicago? It's at LA.
It's in LA.
SoFi Stadium. Yeah, I got Matthew Stafford coming out, having a good Game 1 debut for the Los Angeles Rams, and they pull out the win.
All right, cool. Well, my last one and my final lock of the weekend, I wanted to get college football involved, but we only did 3, so I do apologize, but no college football this Friday. Ideally, I'd like to get it in next Friday, but the Falcons. I'm going to take the Falcons not only to beat the Eagles, I'm going to take the Falcons to cover the 3 points. I think they will win by more than a touchdown. I like the Falcons. I don't think the Eagles defensively can stop Calvin Ridley, Kyle Pitts, or even Mike Davis in the backfield.
Right.
I really think Arthur Smith is going to send a message to the league week 1 against Philly, although, again, Philly's rock bottom. I don't think they're that good of a team. But still, I don't care if Philly's bad. That's their problem. I'll take 3 points for the Atlanta Falcons all day. Those are my 3 bets. I love them, and I'm riding with them all weekend.
Yeah, the last one for me was the Atlanta Falcons to the Eagles. It's at Atlanta. Kyle Pitts, first game of the season. No one on the Philadelphia Eagles can guard Kyle Pitts, let alone Calvin Ridley. Obviously, the secondary has issues there. So I trust Matt Ryan over Jalen Hurts. I think Matt Ryan has better weapons. Arthur Smith, Adam picked him for Coach of the Year. Big expectations for him. He'll go in there, and I think he's got an easy Game 1 win, and I'll take those 3 points.
I like it.
I like it, boys. Good job. All right.
We have a few minutes.
I know. And
I don't mind giving away some college football bets.
I know, but you also have something special to announce, don't you?
I know.
Can I tell you a dark horse?
Adam was so sad.
Can I tell you a dark horse?
I'm just trying
to
make people money.
You guys are gonna get angry
at me. I can't help it. All right, guys.
Okay.
Hold on.
Cool.
Finish what you were saying.
You guys are gonna get angry at me as always. I think Washington has a massive chance against Michigan. I think Washington are gonna surprise you on Saturday night. I really do. I think Washington's going to come out, all the talk about West Coast, East Coast travel time zones.
Well, you better hope they don't come out and win, Fish, because I will bring a bat to work and I'll take out your kneecaps if Washington beats Michigan.
Fish, you going to put money on it?
Well, I did tell you there's going to be kneecaps flying at Ford Field. So just take those kneecaps from Ann Arbor, boop, throw them over to Ford Field, and throw that at Garoppolo, and Lions get a win. So maybe it'll work out in our favor, Adam. I'm not saying they'll win,
Kennedy,
but they'll make it closer than yours. They're going to win by 14 points. No, it'll be like 7 or 6 or 5.
I'm sure they're going to be hungry Fish. They just lost to Montana, but it doesn't mean they'll beat a Michigan team.
We'll see. We'll see. The only thing they have is, I think Chuck hit it on the head. The only thing Washington has is a chip on their shoulder. But something, let's lighten up the room a little bit. We have a special announcement to make. Obviously, all week, Kennedy has been asking everybody at home to qualify and submit somebody you believe should win front row tickets to the Detroit Lions San Francisco 49ers game, and we do have a winner. The winner is Rashad Morgan. He nominated, it's Lynette Ponder who submitted it, but Rashad Morgan is the winner. It is a young boy who, Kennedy, actually, you're more sentimental than I am. If you want to read it, probably be better.
To read it?
Yeah.
Okay. You're more sentimental than I am. I love it. Okay. Here we... Oh, wait. Hang on. Wrong text thread. Please hold. Please hold. Please hold. I'm sweating. Okay. So, first of all, congrats, Rashad Morgan. I hope I'm saying that correctly. You are nominated for the game, and you won. Congrats. You're a huge fan of the Lions, she says, and you were crushed when Stafford was traded to the Rams. Me too, buddy. You're a diehard fan, and this will make your day, in that he deserves these tickets because he's worthy of some magic. Of course you are, first of all. But congratulations, you are going to the 49ers versus Lions game, and you are sitting in the front row. It doesn't get much better than that. Season opener in the front row.
You'll get to see Dan Campbell in person.
And the Lions win.
I was just going to say, according to Fish,
whatever
Lions
you say,
win.
Fish, I'm not even going to acknowledge what you're saying right now, Fish. For details, though, Kennedy, you will reach out.
I will give you a ring. But, no, congratulations. That's awesome. And big shout out to Wicked Awesome Wishes.
Like a Super Bowl
for
ring?
the tickets.
Shut up, Fish. She's talking.
All right. Well, we got to get out of here. Thanks so much for hanging out with us this entire week. We've had so much fun. We will see you right here again on Monday. See you later.